Good morrow, everyone. Hello, Cherry. Hello, Chemdog. Welcome in. We are here today to read your tarot, or at least as much as I can while I'm here. Obviously, I'm here for a few hours. I got a crazy jam-packed day today. So it's going to be insane. If we get to our daily goal on stream of 10 Twitch subs or 10 YouTube members, and I've just been letting that roll over because I do not know how to reset it. It won't let me reset it in the system. Then we will be deciding what our next cosplay will be for tomorrow's stream. Tomorrow we're going to be talking comics and just chatting about whatever you guys want to chat about, basically. I think people have been using the subreddit, so please, yes, use the subreddit. Reddit.com r/Amanda McKnight. Whoa. I cannot type with gloves, by the way. 'Tis a challenge. So yeah, please feel free to use that and the Discord to share things with me that you would like me to watch, or just talk about on stream, articles, things like that. But welcome in, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. Clay, good morning. Time Lord guy, hello. How's it going, everybody? Bow down to the queen. Thank you so much for Paula for the highlighted comment. Yes, bow down to the queen. We are not doing wheel spins today. This is a lie. It will just be our sub goal, and then obviously you can support to bump yourself up on the list for tarot. I guess I'll just say priority tarot, and goal equals choose tomorrow's cosplay. I'll just put choose cosplay. That's easier. That's good. That's good, I think. I think it's good. Oh, that's not good. Hey, Moondragon, thank you so much for the 14 months. Happy Mooniversary. You definitely need to check out Tawny Platis. Yes, you were telling me about that over in the place that shall not be named. That is something that I do need to check out. I always appreciate you have such good recommendations, Moondragon. Let me see. I don't know what I want to do with this. I guess let's just do blue. Make it a lighter blue so it stands out a little bit more. Hey, Moondragon, thank you so much for gifting a membership. I appreciate you. Oh, and you gifted to Steven. I love that. Steven is great. Excellent, excellent. Let me see. You're not supposed to be able to type with gloves. I can type with gloves, but it is challenging. Mage has redeemed something. I don't have my earbuds in. What did that say? Mod appreciation. Thank you so much for the mod appreciation. I do not have my sub. Welcome to the I was about to say, I can't hear anything. Should really put at least one earbud in so I can hear these when they go off and I know what is happening in chat. Thank you so much, Moondragon, for the gifted membership and for the resub over on, or remember? I don't even know how to say that, over on YouTube. I appreciate you. If we get 5 more members, we will be deciding what our cosplay will be for tomorrow's stream, and you guys can help me vote on that. Much love to our mods. I have not watched today's episode. I only watched half of it, and then my iPad died while I was getting ready, so I had to charge it. So I am sort of up to date, but not completely. Kind of. Not fully. So for our rotation that we had last time, I believe next up on the list was Jamie, and then Otto, and then Edakaye. So I don't know if any of them are here. And then Duncan Mallory, and then Spooky Rob. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes just to see who comes in. And then we'll go through our list that we had last time. But if those folks aren't here, you can also queue up. But I'll prompt you guys to let me know in a bit. In a bit. Yeah. I basically got up today and got ready for this. And also had to pack because I have a photo shoot that I gotta do. So I'm trying to get everything together for that as well. Kind of a last minute photo shoot, but also one that I've been wanting to do for a while. I think I'm gonna shoot Lenore. From Castlevania. Also, sorry, I need to eat because I haven't had food yet today, so, and I'm pretty hungry. You think this was the last episode of the season? I thought we were getting 8 episodes of Gen V. Are we only getting 7? Hey, Anthony, I'm good. How are you? Welcome in. Andrew, what horror movies are you going to watch tonight? It's What They Gave Me. Thank you. It is part of a Madeline Pryor cosplay. Goblin Queen from X-Men. Less of a shirt, more of a costume. I guess it is technically a shirt. I don't think I'd ever wear this latex garb out, though. I don't know what I'd wear it with. I guess I could. It doesn't look as good without the cape, to be honest with you. The gem and the cape really adds to the vibe. I feel like Goblin Queen looks a little chilly. No, actually. I find this cosplay to be very warm. Because it is latex and PVC, so not super breathable materials. Anthony, glad to hear that you're good. You think that Amanda's a witch? Me? Nah. Nah, I'm not a witch. I'm just someone with insane amounts of power, as Madeline Pryor. I don't know, would we call Madeline Pryor a witch? I guess she has operated in the realm of magic. NJ Urban Cowboy. Urban Crown Prince. Sorry.exe, hello. Renelle, welcome in. Hello, how's it going? Ruffrey, hi. Welcome. Maddie is back. She's here to read your fortune. So that's what we'll be doing today. Chris, hello. How's it going? Speaking of people that I owe a tarot to, Chris, I owe a tarot reading to you. Would you want it on here, or do you want me to send it through the usual means instead? I want to try to get it done for you soon. I'm just like, every time I feel like I have a minute, I have some other work that I have to do, and then I'm like, I really need to get there. So I'm still trying to do that, and I will send it to you. It's still on my mind. All right, bye, Dichotic. Have good sleeps. I think the only time that's good for me to stream for folks that are in Australia is like late at no, not late at night. When is a good time? Well, let's see. In about 8 hours. Yeah, so like evening time, but not too late. Early evening, I think, is the best time for Australia. That'll be tomorrow's stream probably, because I'm gonna try to go live around 5. Might even be a little early. We'll see though. I don't want to make any promises that I can't keep. 9 p.m. onwards, says Psychotic. 9 p.m. onwards, my time? Yeah, so evening. So the evening streams are the good ones for you. The ones where sometimes I start at 9. Gora Tootie, welcome in. Have good sleeps, Dichotic. 9 p.m. is noon here. Ah, I see. Yeah, I was thinking in about 8 hours, you'll be awake. It'll be like just like morning time. It'll be like 10 a.m., which isn't terrible. So if I wanted to stream evening, I would have to stream like in the middle of the night is your evening, I think, for me. Which is good, because sometimes we do really late streams, and I stay up till ungodly hours. Goodness knows. So those are probably good ones for my folks out in Australia. It's the evening for you, Renelle. Well, I hope you had a good day at work. Hopefully it was productive. 6:30 a.m. to 2:20 p.m. is not too bad. That's not too bad. You got to be done a little earlier, which I like. Yeah, some of your streams at 6 p.m. Ooh, nice. Nice. Have you missed the movie night / watch parties? Not yet, Referee. We are getting to the movie night / watch parties soon. After this stream, I think I'm going to plan Interview with a Vampire that we got to do. And then we still have to do The Black Hole. Goblin Queen definitely has some Dom vibes, Moondragon. This is very true. Her and Malice, my two Dommy mommies for cosplays. Ernesto, welcome in. Yes, Mark Silvestri did the design for Madeline Pryor that my costume is based off of. I've seen some people doing the X-Men 97 one as well. I would like to do an X-Men 97, Maddie, at some point. You can never have too many Madeline Pryor cosplays, I think. Gertrude, my live streams in the channel are, I stream about 5 days a week. So usually you can catch me live here on YouTube or on Twitch. Monday, Tuesday I'm off, Wednesday I'm off for streaming, because that's my content day usually. So I'm not usually live on Wednesdays. This is a rare occurrence. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm not on this weekend though. I won't be on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday this week. So yes. Nathan, I'm usually hot wearing this, not cold. All right, good night, Dichotic. Tux for Dichotic. The show or movie? We're watching 2 episodes of the show. All right, Renelle, you have like 200 bottles to recycle. Wow, that's a lot of recycling. Get that recycling done. We'll be here for a little bit. Cherry, thank you so much for the highlighted message. I did have a good day off. I spent my day doing chores and working out. Basically, my day off is my day to just catch up on things for myself. If I don't hang out with people, which I did not. No friend hangouts yesterday for me. Good morning, Nathan. Yes, Moondragon. Alice in Borderland has been recommended to me by a few different people. I need to check that out. I'm glad that you were able to get some work on your art done today, Cherry. That's so awesome. Thank you again for that highlighted message. Kirk, thank you so much for following. 200 bottles times 5 cents. Pretty good chunk of change. I did. I got my chores done. My laundry hanging over here. The rest of it folded, put away. Dishes done. Vacuuming done. Still need to do some tidying in the bathroom, but otherwise. I look red-faced. What do you mean, Time Lord guy? My face looks red? I think it's just because of the filter that I use, which bumps up the vibrancy, and I'm wearing blush. So the redness on my cheeks is going to be more prominent, maybe. I don't think I look too red, though. I think my monitor looks... I look pretty alright. Just less dead. If I turn the vibrancy down, I look quite pale, and the colors are less bright. Yeah, I haven't seen Dr. Sleep yet. Ghost Jason, thank you so much for following. All right, y'all. I feel like we should probably get started with some of these tarot readings because I only got a few hours here to get some done, and this is our second part to our previous tarot stream where I was Momo Ayase from Dandadan. So I will say these folks, and if they are here, this is like attendance. If you're here, let me know in chat. Because this is our top of our list. And if they appear in chat, I can still prioritize them because they were near the top last time. So we've got Jamie, we've got Otto, and we've got Edakaye/JSD over on the YouTube side. Are any of those folks here? Yeah, I still feel a little bit mucusy myself, Cherry. I feel you. I don't know what is happening. At first, I thought I was getting sick, and then I thought it was allergies, and then yesterday I felt totally fine. And now I'm feeling a little bit congested. I still can't hear. Okay, I need to change my earbuds, maybe. Hydrate. Thank you for the hydrate, Marvel Man. Cheers. Watcher's Eye, you've been fighting the same? Yeah, I don't know what that is. Okay, next up, because I don't see anyone raising their hands yet, so I'm just going to do the next ones. Duncan Mallory, Spooky Rob, either of you here? Or Kimberly on the YouTube side? I don't really have any opinions on My Chemical Romance, Goratuti. I haven't really listened to them in a long time. You never looked dead. That's because I've always had the vibrancy set to this since you've been here, Time Lord Guy. You've only ever seen me with the filter on that just bumps up the color. You guys want to see the difference? I can take it off and show you. I definitely prefer it with this, though, so I'm not going to, like, take it off permanently. But just in case you wanted to see what it looks like. Oh, wait, where do I go? Oh, wait, I have to go into filters. Oh, wait. It's just color correction. Because you see how, like, bland the screen looks? Vibrant. Bland. Vibrant. All right, Rapala, no worries. Have a good time in the meetings. I hope. Have as good of a time as you can in meetings. You guys know I'm also not a fan of meetings. Hey, Joker, welcome in. Better looking than a goblin. Well, a Goblin Queen is not necessarily a goblin herself. Moondragon, refill that coffee. Why am I the Goblin Queen? Because that is what people voted for last time on stream for the cosplay. Yeah, I don't know if you know the character Time Lord Guy, but it is the Goblin Queen from X-Men, from Marvel Comics, aka Madeline Pryor. Madeline is spelled Madyline, by the way. Madeline with a Y. Not an I, a Y. This bothers me when people spell it and they misspell it. Madeline Pryor is a weirdly spelled name, though, so I totally get it. But I cannot deny, as someone who is a mega fan of Maddie, I'm like, how dare people spell her name incorrectly? But you can also go with Maddie. Maddie is how they always spell that in the comics. Even though, should it be a Y? Maybe. Ghost Jason said, yeah, color's flat. Yeah, see? That's why we put the color correction filter on. Hey, bumps up the color a bit, bumps up the vibrancy, makes it look a little bit more alive. Shout outs to my friend Lucy for showing me that. Midrout Inferno was a fun event. There's some goofy stuff with it, and there's some weird stuff with it. But overall, I would agree, fun. Alright, so I don't hear anyone saying anything for those names. So next up is Samantha, Derek, and Awesome Sauce Radio over on the YouTube sides, I believe. Hello, Sai. Welcome in. Moondragon said, I was just thinking the Peacemaker doesn't seem too upset with what Vidge did on Earth X. Yeah, I don't think that Peacemaker is as upset with what Vigilante did on Earth 2 because I think that he knows that, you know, Vigilante was just making a call. He was making it based on the information that he had. And, you know, that's, even though it kind of was Chris's dad, it's not really Chris's dad because he's from another universe. So that's how I kind of feel about that. I think mostly Chris just blames himself for everything because he's like, if I never went to that universe, none of this would have happened. Which, he's kind of right about that. It never would have happened. However, he had reasons why he went. Jagron, I'm doing well. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the highlighted comment. Sai said, I'm slacking off at work, so if anyone asks, I was never here. Your secret is safe with us, Sai. Tanman, thank you. It was voted on by stream last time, so you can thank all of the lovely people in chat who voted for this. Hello, Otto. Welcome in. Otto, by the way, you are one of the people that has a tarot reading on my list from last time. Would you still like a tarot reading? Let me know. You were number 3. And then my last person is I don't see anyone responding about the people that I just called out. Oh, Derek, there you are. Hello. Derek, you had Dear Amanda, beautiful makeup on your cheekbones. Oh, thank you. My blush. The blush is blushing. Derek, you're also on my list for people that were waiting for a tarot reading from last stream. So Otto, Derek, I'll ask if you guys would like one. And then Slim Headbussa, I think was the last person. Otto, congrats on the 60 stream streak. Let's go, let's go. Thank you so much for streaking. Welcome on in. Aw, Otto, we're happy to have you here with us. You keep hearing terror rating, not tarot reading. I would say that terror rating and tarot reading sound pretty different to me because of the E, but I guess the T and the R are both there, so maybe, yeah, I guess I can kind of hear it. Terror rating, tarot reading. Terror is how I say terror. Tarot is how I say tarot. Mime, welcome in. Yeah, the character growth I would say overall was pretty good. Vidya Nagonia, you want to see a crossover between Goblin Queen and Lady Death? Like them in a comic together? Or like them as an amalgam character? Cole S. said, my issue with Peacemaker Season 2 is that it feels like nothing really happened. Peacemaker is captured. I would say that what the ending of the season is really about is the character growth for each person. And how at the beginning, everyone was feeling kind of lost and like they didn't have a purpose in life. Also, I saw it recently pointed out, and this is really cool, and I agree with this, the intercuts of everyone in Peacemaker going and doing their own thing, and then in like all of the Argus people like laughing while like everyone's dying and going on this mission in the last episode in the finale. People were saying that it's similar when you look at it, and I've wanted to go back to the Suicide Squad for a while. I own it on digital, so I definitely need to go back and rewatch. is basically the same as what happens at the beginning of the Suicide Squad. So for all of the characters that were, part of Waller's team, Economos, Harcourt, it's showing a ton of growth for them because now they're on the other side of it. They are the people being thrown in. And before, they were the people doing the Deadpool at the beginning of the Suicide Squad, guessing which members would be eliminated first, which is crazy. So I think that episode is really more about the trajectory of each character and kind of how they've come from this place of being lost at the beginning of season to finally finding their home and really reconnecting with each other and starting something together. So I wouldn't say that I wouldn't say that nothing really happened for me. I think also everything that they're building up with, Salvation is feels pretty big in terms of what they could do with it. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But I still felt like they built up a good amount of stuff. I just think they could have cut some stuff a little bit. I think it was a little bit long or put in a little bit more of the emotional scenes. So maybe we can feel that growth a little bit more in that one episode. But I think when you look at the season overall, all of the growth is there, episode to episode. Myth Randier, hello, welcome in. Otto, you would still like a reading. All right, cool. We will start with Otto then. All right, and Derek, you would still like a reading? Okay, so we'll do Otto and Derek. And then if anyone else wants one, you can, I'll open up the queue for anyone else that would like one. And I can make a little queue for now. And I'll still keep all the people that were on here. Just a heads up for how the tarot works. I'll pop a little message in chat for you guys through Nightbot here so you know how it works. But I prioritize, Derek was queued up last time, so even though Derek isn't a member, I prioritize subscribers on Twitch and members over on YouTube. And then if you would like to bump yourself up the list, support allows you to do that. So if you throw a super chat or gift a sub or any of that stuff, Moondragon like you did earlier as well, just let me know if anyone wants to queue up. Should cosplay as Siren from X-Force? Maybe at some point, methanks. Maybe at some point. Currently working on 2 cosplays right now. Phoenix cosplay, we're raising funds for, and Zatanna. But maybe at some point in the future. Siren's pretty cool. Or them as a couple. I mean, I don't think that Maddie has ever been a lesbian. But, hey, you ship who you ship. I don't know. I don't think Maddie has ever been, like, even a hint queer, but I of course, would love that. As someone who is bi, I'm always excited for more bi babes in the pool. Is there much of a difference from Canadian Thanksgiving and American? No. It's a bigger holiday in America, though, but no. Pretty much we do the same stuff. Yes, Ruffrey, Checkmate did. We're doing a totally different Checkmate, I think, in this universe, though. Checkmate's been kind of on both sides before. They've been shady. I mean, Checkmate originally run by Maxwell Lord, which in this reality, clearly not, because Maxwell Lord is busy with the Justice Gang. I don't know if the Justice Gang will end up joining up with Checkmate or what will happen with that, but I don't think Maxwell Lord is going to be the same even in the DCU as he is in the comics. They're taking elements of that character, though. That's fair, Madrout. That's fair. Yeah, I feel like there just needed to be like a little something, a little readjustment at the end for me with a few things. But I still loved it. I still think it was, overall, I think I like Season 2 still better than Season 1. I think they just improved upon it. and reached a little deeper. Otto, what is your question for the tarot? Mime said, I mean, I'd be a lesbian after dating Scott, to be honest. Whoa, Mime, what's with the Scott hate? Hey, I mean, maybe for Maddie. Maddie had it pretty rough, honestly. But Maddie had it rough because of a lot of reasons. I don't know if Scott's the only one. I think Scott, we got to give some of the blame to Scott, but I mean, she was made to basically be messed up. I think if Sinister's your creator, you're probably going to be pretty messed up, to be honest. Jagron, I heard about Fantastic Four and Invincible Woman. Yes, yeah. Yeah, basically they're doing the Marvel Rivals design, yeah. I'm not surprised. Marvel Rivals is huge for them, so it would make sense that they'd want to use that design. Otto said, my birthday is coming up early next month. How will my next year play out? For better or for worse? And what deck would you like, Otto? We have Red Sonja, Vampirella, and Agatha all along. Let me know. Yeah, I feel like the dissolution of Maddie and Havoc's relationship recently was very poorly done. I don't mind him being back with Polaris, really. I'm more of a Havoc Maddie shipper than I am a Havoc Polaris shipper, but I don't mind that ship. It's just like the way that they ended that relationship, it just felt like they basically forgot that it was happening. Lord Monk, thank you for the on-screen celebration. Agatha? I was using Agatha a lot last time, yep. I have used it. You thought I was dressed as Raven? I get that a lot, Time Lord guy. I'm not really sure why people see Raven, though. I will be honest with you guys. I guess because I have a gem. But I'm like, other than that, I feel like that's where it ends. Raven doesn't have this going on. She got a cape. But she's got kind of a little bit of a different color scheme. And her hair is a different color. But you're not the first, and I'm sure you won't be the last, to think that I'm Raven. Literally, I was at a convention and someone walked past me and was like, I love your Raven cosplay. And I was like, thanks. I was like, I'm not going to explain that I'm Madeline Pryor. But yeah, Madeline Pryor is a lesser known character, so I guess it makes sense that there are some people that don't know who she is. She's a bit more niche. Those are my favorite characters to cosplay, to be honest with you. The ones where people mistake me for someone else. Alright, I do need to take my gloves off, I think. I don't think I can do tarot in these gloves. I mean, I'll try. I don't think I can shuffle. He left her in Alaska with their newborn. Which might be worse, I don't know. Although I do know people that have lived in Alaska, and apparently it's quite nice. Maybe just a quick glance, Chemdog says. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. It's happened a lot of times to people that have had a significant amount of time to look at me and are like, that's Raven. And I'm like, is it though? Is it Raven? But it happens a lot. Everyone thinks this is a Raven cosplay. Or not everyone, but a lot of people. Okay. Lord Monk, thank you so much for the 5-stream streak. Thank you as well for the on-screen celebration and the 20 bits. The Watcher's Eye, this is true. Fire Thunder, welcome in. How's it going? Alright, so Otto wants to know, with their birthday coming up, how will the next year be for them? For better or for worse? How will the next year be for auto? For better or for worse? Actually, not doing bad at shuffling with gloves on. Yeah, grabbing cards is hard with gloves, but I think I got it. So this one, I do need to move my arm over, but this is our theme for the reading. Seven of Swords. Sorry, my protein bar always makes me choke. Gothmog, hello. Welcome in. Your past is the High Priestess. Your present, Otto, is the Five of Wands. And your future is the Knight of Cups. There we go. Gotta just make sure my face is covered, otherwise it always wants to focus on my face. I'm gonna switch my cameras and then we'll read through some of these. The first card is the theme, so this is not as important for the reading. But it's the Seven of Swords. So, alcoholism? No, I don't think so. What do you mean? Because we have the cups. Cups are a suit that usually represents the emotional world. Water. So it's usually about relationships and emotion. Oh, just a goofy joke on the cups. Yeah. Yeah, if you mean the cups, that's usually about emotion and relationships. Peter, are you asking if I'm dressed as Raven? Are you asking because I said all of the stuff about how people think that I'm Raven? No, I am, as the title says, the Goblin Queen, aka Madeline Pryor from X-Men from Marvel Comics. I have cosplayed as Harley Quinn a few times, Vidya Nagonia. Let me see if this will work if I switch. Oh wow, not bad. Not bad. All right, so here is our tarot for Otto. So we have to start, we'll start with the past and we'll come back to the theme at the end. So we have the High Priestess. Locke, hello, welcome in. Just trolling about the Raven. Yeah, I figured. I was like, are you saying that because I just did the whole explanation? And you want a troll to be like, so you're Raven. Yeah, not Raven, but Raven is cool too. I should do a Raven cosplay at some point, or a Starfire cosplay. I don't have any Titans cosplays yet, you know? We should do that at some point. So the High Priestess, which is your past, is a card that represents intuition, wisdom, and mystery, according to my little book. Jennifer Kale sits behind the counter at her wellness empire, Kale Care. Whether it's magic or skin cream, she emits an otherworldly glow, signifying her connection to the divine. With the crescent moon by her side, Jen understands what less practiced witches have yet to learn. Intuition is a form of magic, too. The High Priestess is the counterpart to the magician. Where the magician represents the active process of making magic, the High Priestess represents the receptive part of the process. This card symbolizes the wisdom of intuition. When it appears, your subconscious is calling to you. Pay close attention to the dreams, signs, and messages that come to you now. Listen carefully to the magic calling out in the dark. So, subconsciously in the past, you have had a lot going on. You've had a strong connection to your intuition in your past. So for the present, we're going to the Five of Wands. Which is conflict, tension, and arguments. The player on the record player says, the sign on the record player says, play me. That's what Alice does, only for the spinning record to emit an ear-splitting screech. The witches howl in pain, covering their ears and screaming at one another to stop the noise. When this card appears, tension is at an all-time high. Perhaps you can already feel it among your group of friends or colleagues. If you aren't in the middle of an external conflict, look inward for the source. Have you lost focus recently? Are there too many ideas or projects pulling you in multiple directions? Pause and take a deep breath. If you have to choose your battles, make sure to choose them wisely. So I feel like because this one is about the subconscious and the intuition, I'm wondering if the past card is trying to signify that in the present we are having an internal conflict. But I could be wrong about that, so maybe it is something external. But it seems like there's something you're coming up against right now, Otto, and there is some conflict in your life currently. Then there's the Knight of Cups, which is your future. Knight of Cups is charming, romantic, and self-indulgent. Teen sweeps in to stir the unfinished potion during the beach house trial. The pressure is on, and Jen's potion making isn't going according to plan. Luckily, Teen rushes into action. As he stirs the kitchen sink concoction, the potion transforms from green to cerulean blue. The coven has passed the first trial. When this card appears, be on the lookout for a dreamy, romantic soul who can offer you a new perspective. If this card represents you, turn your attention inward. Indulge in your artistic sensibilities and biggest dreams to find the answer. So I think what this is saying is that maybe this also seems internal. I mean, it can be someone in your life that will come into your life, but because this is leading with intuition in our past, I'm wondering if maybe what you're going through right now is a bit of an internal struggle in the present that will ultimately be resolved or can be resolved potentially in the future if you are to indulge in the more creative, artistic sides of yourself and kind of let those tap into that side of yourself that you have within. And then it seems like you're heading towards maybe making some things that you've wanted to come true, which is kind of cool. So that's the Knight of Cups. And then we have the Seven of Swords. Also, I need to update my list. Hold on a second. Let me just do that, and then we'll get back to the reading. Otto said my attention issues acting up. Sorry. I do have a lot going on. My health issues. I have like 7 comics projects and a couple animation things on the go right now. Okay. So how is that going for you? Is it going well? Are you kind of struggling maybe to focus on that, Otto? So next up is Derek. And then that's all I have in the queue right now. Typing with gloves. Heh. Why does this not want to... Oh, actually that works out well. I can't do them because my health issues are getting in the way. We converting to Wicca? No Fire Thunder. We're just doing a tarot stream right now. This is my part 2 for my tarot stream because I had to cut my other one a little short. So I just decided to do a few more hours of tarot for folks. Ghost Jason. I prioritize members and YouTube subs, so I can definitely add you to the queue. But just a heads up, you might get bumped down. So, but I can definitely add you to the queue, yeah. Because I don't have anyone else that's on the queue right now that is a Twitch sub. I haven't seriously played that rock and roll since the 2000s. Right, but you do have a lot of creative projects that are currently ongoing as well. So are you feeling more of a pull towards music lately, but you're doing like a lot of animation and artistic projects? No problem, Jason. You are on the queue. You are in there. And so let's just see what the Seven of Swords has to say, which is our theme for this reading. Betrayal, theft, and schemes. With Lilia and Jen back in the mix, the pressure is off Agatha. No longer does she have to mess with divination, growing increasingly annoyed to solve this trial. As usual, Agatha allows the rest of the coven to figure out a solution while she tiptoes away from the reading table and the imminent danger, the dangling swords present. This card arrives with a message of betrayal. But before you cast your suspicions at your inner circle, turn your gaze inward. Most often, you're your own worst enemy. How have you stolen time or resources from yourself? Where have you betrayed yourself by not supporting your greatest ambitions? So because this is very internal, I would also say that the theme is probably something internal like that. So you've been saying that you've been having health problems, which is obviously something external, something you can't control. But do you feel like there might be anything internally that you have some control over that's kind of getting in the way from your creative pursuits right now? Is there any way that you can kind of like free yourself up to focus on more of that? Or is it that your health really is in the way and that doesn't apply to you at all? I want to do hypercomics. I've got a great one I'm planning and I can't wait to do it, and a Western. Okay. So you are focused on also working on the comics. How do I queue? I hate this word. I know it's a weird word, isn't it, Gothmock? Because it doesn't look real. Queue is like, who decided how that should be spelled? Just let me know and I can definitely queue you up. So Gothmock, if you would like to join, you are one of the subs, so that will bump Jason down a little bit, but I can definitely add you to the queue. Add it on. Mime, I'm so glad you're enjoying the stream. Hey Jim, welcome in. Peacemaker season finale was very disappointing to you? Really? How so, Jim? I found it to be pretty good still. I was a little bit disappointed in some things, but for the most part, still loved it. Still think it's, I think, the best show I've watched this year, maybe? I need to finish Alien Earth, though, so we'll see. Gary, I can add you onto the list, but just an FYI, I prioritize YouTube members for tarot readings. So I can definitely add you onto our list, but you'll just be near the bottom. And if I have any YouTube members or Twitch subscribers that sign up, then you'll be after them, basically. Nice, Gary. Well, thank you so much for checking it out and checking out my little tarot stream. I will definitely add you onto the list with my non-members. You'll be right under Ghost Jason for now. And then just basically when I ask you what your question is, you can just let me know what your question is. And the only thing that I ask is that it be open-ended, so not a yes or no question, not a this or that. You want something that has an open-ended answer because that's when you get the most interpretations. No worries, Gary. I'll still add you onto the list, but I just want to manage expectations so you know that I do prioritize members on the channel. That's all. But you're on there. Right. Yeah, you just feel like the hype, it was too hyped for what it was. Yeah, fair enough. Jamie, welcome in. Hello, hello. Hello, Maddie. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jamie.
Hello, Nad. Amadu. Oh, hello, everyone.
Hello, Jamie. Thank you so much for the 100 biddies. Would you like a tarot reading, by the way? You were also on my list from last time, so just let me know and I'll bump you up to the top for now since you also supported last time. So if you would like a tarot reading, let me know. And I can do you after this one, and then Derek would be up next. Yeah, that makes sense, Jim. I hear what you're saying. I feel like the thing I liked about the salvation reveal is that, like, I was never thinking it was going to happen, you know? Welcome to the Q is a Q with just a bunch of letters lined up behind it, just like a Q in real life. Anxiety. I hate my art. I don't want to deal with sharing my art, whether it's good or bad. I just want to get things done. Also, I'm still on disability, and I'm anxious about that and everything that goes with it. Got you, Otto. So your anxiety might be kind of getting in the way of maybe following some of these artistic pursuits. But I will say, it looks like in the future, this is something that you can potentially overcome. It does seem like your future is pretty optimistic, pretty bright with the Knight of Cups here, which is all about exploring that creativity and opening that all up. So I think maybe if you can get through some of the anxiety, if that is something that you feel like is a bit of a block for you personally that you can control, then you might be able to sort of be and feel a bit more free. It can definitely be really scary to share any kind of art that we make, I think. And I totally get that. I used to have a lot more anxiety towards sharing my stuff, especially as an actor. But what helped me, and I don't know if it'll work for you, but what helped me was watching myself every day. So just like if you maybe doodle like every day, if you can, obviously within your restraints physically, then, and you can try to get to a place of sharing it, then I think it'll open you up to it. I know it sucks because it's scary, and like, what if everybody like doesn't like it, and if you don't like it? But one of the things that they said in class when I was in school for acting, for film acting, was we actually had to watch ourselves on monitors every single day. And some people hated that because they hated seeing themselves. They didn't like the way they looked. They didn't like the way they sounded. And our teachers were basically like, look, you have to get used to that. You have to get over it because that doesn't really matter as much as the art. And if you watch every day, it'll help you to get through it. And it definitely does. I used to hate the way I sounded. Now I like the way I sound and I like the way I look. And so I definitely think exposing myself to more of that helped a lot. Right. 'Tis complete indifference. Oh, so you just don't care. So you like making stuff, but you don't really feel like promoting it or sharing it. Do you want anything to happen with it? Like, do you ever want your comics or anything to be published? Oh, that's good. That's good that you're always creatively playing around with your style. I definitely think that can be helpful until you find something you're more comfortable with. Let me know if you want a picture of this, Otto, or if you need a picture of your reading, or if you're good for me to move on. But that's basically what it says. I think it's pretty optimistic, though. It kind of just sounds like if you can work through what you're going through right now, and you can just try to make a little bit of progress on that, things are looking pretty good. You will be able to express yourself more freely, creatively, and I love that for you. So this sounds pretty optimistic, honestly. Like, you have some problems, but I think it's looking like you can make it through. Cherry, you would like another reading? Yeah, no worries. I can definitely add you on. I went through everyone before, so I can definitely add you on to the list. Derek can go before me. I need to get my energies together. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So Derek first, and then it'll be Jamie, and then Gothmok, and then Cherry, and then Ghost Jason, and then Gary. Yeah, Otto, you can just take like a freeze frame if you can, like do a screen grab, and then you can save it that way. I don't do like a typed out breakdown or anything, but if you want to grab these cards, and then that way if you want to look into anything else in terms of what the cards mean and do your own research on it, obviously you can also do that too. There are lots of great free resources online actually. So you just let me know when you're good to go, when you're good and you got your pick, and then I'll move on to Derek, and then Jamie, and then Gothmok will be next. Let me just redo my order here a little bit. And Ghost Jason, you're still on there. Just, like I said, I prioritize the Twitch subs and YouTube members. So just bump down a little bit, but we'll still get to you. Okay, hang on. No worries. Aw, thanks, Gary. I appreciate it. Aw, thank you. I do my best. I do my best to be as kind as I can be. Yeah, the Poison Ivy cosplay is a pretty good one as well. I love that I just got that one repaired. It's one of my favorites. And I actually just bought PVC cleaner for this one because if you guys could smell this cosplay, it's stanky, man. I need to clean, and it's not the latex. The latex I clean regularly, but I've never cleaned the PVC. I don't really know how to clean PVC. And I'm like, I really need to clean this because it's stinky. And I just found out that the company that I buy my latex cleaner from also does PVC cleaner. So I'm going to try that. That's crazy. Richard Dreyfuss wanted to remove himself from American Graffiti. I think I got it. Thanks. Nice. All right, Otto. We'll move along here to Derek. Derek, are you still with me over on the YouTube side? Let me know in chat. Jim, you're still recovering from the trauma of the last tarot reading I did for you? Was it traumatic? I didn't think it was that traumatic. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. What trauma did it cause? Now I need to know. What part of my outfit is PVC? PVC. V. Gloves, cape, leggings. This is latex. And then the loincloth that I wear is latex as well. Midnight Suns is super sweet. We'll be doing some more Midnight Suns on Monday. Lord Monk, you just bought Midnight Suns. Nice. I hope you enjoyed as much as I'm enjoying it. PVC is best cleaned with just a damp cloth wipe down. Yeah, but I need something to get rid of the odor, Otto. Like the amount of times I have worn this and sweat so much. I sweat so much in this cosplay. It's crazy. So I need something to neutralize the odor. But there is a company that I use for the latex cleaner that's really good, that my costumer recommended to me, Black Mist Clothing, who made this lovely cosplay for me. And they also do PVC cleaner. So I'm going to give that a go. Just swirl it around in some water in a basin in the cleaner. Otto, can I quickly summarize your reading? Yes. So we had, I believe, the Seven of Swords. Oh, I've already shuffled them back in. Was it the seven? The Seven of Swords, I think. Which the theme of it was surrounding the idea of internal, kind of an internal betrayal or theft, potentially. It can also be external, but I was saying in this reading, it seems like it might be more internal. So some kind of block that you might be dealing with. In the past, you've been very connected to your intuition, possibly also your creative side as well, that could be saying, because I usually also associate intuition with creativity, but they can be exclusive. So you've been really tapped into connecting with your subconscious, which was the was that the Knight of Wands? Was that what that card was? I forget what the card was called. And then the middle, your present, you're dealing with some kind of, I forget what the card was. Sorry, I can't remember off the top of my head. You were dealing with some potentially internal conflict. That can also be a card that has to do with someone in your life kind of coming in and creating problems. But the gist of it is you're dealing with a problem, something that is trying to kind of block what's going on. And as a result of that, you need to figure out a way around it. Which that was the thing that I thought connected back to the theme, because those were both talking about kind of these conflicts that we might have. Both of them can also be internal. And then in the future, there was the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is all about creativity. And so I believe the Knight of Cups is meant to represent for you this idea of if you can just deal with some of the problems that you're dealing with internally, then you can move to a more creatively free place moving forward, which we talked and discussed about how that could be your anxiety and your kind of fear or discomfort or your indifference to sharing your work and just, moving forward with it in that manner. Yeah, it can be personal doubt. Five of Cups, maybe. I've shuffled everything back into the deck, so I'm not entirely sure. Okay, I haven't heard from Derek yet, so I'm going to move on to the next person just because I only have so much time. So next up would be Jamie. Jamie, are you ready or do you still need a bit more time? If so, I'll move over to Gothmog and I'll just cycle Derek back down to the bottom for now. Got into the cleaning suddenly. No worries, Jamie. If you need some more time, no problem. We can move on to Gothmog if you'd like, and I can just bump you down one again. So you have a little bit more time. Would that be preferred? Account said, what are my zodiac signs? I don't know, Account. This is your first time, I think, chatting in my chat. So, yeah. I don't know what your zodiac sign is. I'm not a psychic. Mouse is fine with gloves, but typing, challenging, Charles. Yeah. Also, thanks for being a member, Charles. How are you doing? Oh, tarot reading about my love life wasn't particularly hopeful. Oh, I see. Yeah, I think that we figured out some of the issues, though, didn't we? With why that was the way it is? I mean, the thing with romance is that a lot of people feel that romance is something that like it just happens, and in my experience, to be fulfilled romantically, a lot of the times it just comes from doing a lot of self work. So I think sometimes when we have like a negative romantic reading, people will see that, or something that is more constructive, maybe people will see that as like, that means I just won't find romance ever. And I'm like, well, you'll find romance if you want to. You just gotta put yourself out there, and you gotta do the self work. And then I think, actually, I'm a big believer of, if you do the self work, you don't even have to look, man. The romance finds you. It'll find you in good time. I am not a psychic, no. Yeah, you can wait a bit more. Chat moves fast. It does move fast. Gothmog said, well, I was hoping I could look at a question before I ask mine. Oh, okay. All right. So do you need a bit more time, Gothmog? No worries. I can bump you down if you need a bit more time, and then we could go to Cherry. Cherry, I think, might be ready with her question. I'm not a psychic. I am a vampire. Yes, that is true. Delete the dating apps, Mime? Is that your suggestion? Yeah, I personally have never used a dating app. Well, that's not true. I was on Tinder. Is that one of them? For like a minute, but just because I like the swiping element of it. I thought that was fun. But I've never seriously used a dating app. My question is, what might the outcome if I take this streaming path? What might the outcome be if you take the streaming path? Okay. Janet Jackson said in the 80s, no romance without finance. Oh my goodness. Janet's like, I gotta get that bag, baby. You gotta be at my level, probably, is what Janet Jackson is thinking, because she's making the money. I just find, like, I know people that have found success on dating apps, but I haven't known anyone. I think maybe one couple that I know that's still together from dating apps. Everyone else is broken up. Some people got married and broke up. None of them are together right now, other than one. I know one couple, I think, who just got married. So I think they have a pretty good chance, actually. They do a lot of things together. So I feel pretty confident that they'll be good. But I think it's just hard because it's like, what are people there for is a big question. So, Cherry, what deck would you like? I have Red Sonja, Vampirella, and I have my Agatha All Along deck here today. Agatha All Along. Which deck would you like, Cherry? Duncan Mallory, hello. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Duncan Mallory. That's great. Also, Duncan Mallory, you were also on my list from last time. Would you like a tarot reading today if I get there? Let me know if you'd like me to add you back on. And let my hand guide me. All right, I will. So right now, it will be Jamie, and then Gothmog, and then... Yes, please. And then Duncan Mallory. And then after that will be Ghost Jason, Gary, and then we'll loop back around to Derek if Derek comes back. I'll keep an eye out for Derek in the chat. All right, let me just set up our question here. Hey Sammy, welcome in. I do not, I've not worked at Top 10 Nerd for over a year, so no, I'm no longer part of that channel or that team. Your favorite cosplay? What's your favorite cosplay, Captain America? No worries, Captain America. The VOD is still there for you. Spill the tea? What tea, Time Lord guy? Nerdy girls for the win. I agree, Duncan Mallory. I agree. Eric, hello. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome back into the cult. How's it going, Eric? All right. Ah, the Poison Ivy one. Yeah, I was in the Poison Ivy stream. We did a Poison Ivy. We actually haven't done Poison Ivy stream yet. Have we? Did we? Oh, we did actually. Wait, what am I saying? Poison Ivy, was that last time? All of the days are blurring together for me. I literally am running from one thing to the next this entire month so far. Yeah, we did that one I think a couple days ago. Ivy. Yeah. But the VOD is still there, and I recorded some videos in it, so there are videos that you can watch that I will be Ivy in. Cherry wanted me to use my hand to guide me to the deck. So let's see what is calling me in this moment. Poison Ivy was before MJ. Yes. Was there another one between those? Or was it Poison Ivy 2 MJ? We did MJ the other day, on Monday. So, and then we did Jessica Rabbit Sunday. So Ivy would have been before that. So maybe Friday? Was that Ivy? When we played Rivals? I think I did Ivy for Rivals. And then we were all talking about, like, who would be, like, Poison Ivy in the Marvel universe. Yeah. So there's, I think there might be one more video with me as Ivy. I'm sure Ivy will make a return at some point. Going back in time to try to remember what I did. All right, let me choose the deck here for Cherry. Hey, Peter, welcome in. It's Vampire... No, Red Sonja. This deck. This deck is calling me. The Red Sonja deck. All right, Cherry would like to know what might be the outcome if I take this streaming path. What might be the outcome if Cherry takes this stream? Okay, so we have the Eight of Cups as your first card. Eight of Cups. Then we have the Ten of Cups. If it'll focus. Really doesn't want to focus on this card. There we go. For a second, it did. Then we have the Queen of Cups. It is an evolution of cups. And for the theme for this reading, our bottom card, Two of Cups. Everything's coming up cups. So it sounds like you're on a bit of an emotional journey here, Cherry. Welcome back, Renelle. It's a lot of cups. Yes, the Red Sonja deck is sick. I love this deck a lot. Much love to... I think this one was gifted to me by Michael? Thank you, Michael. But this was a gift, so thank you to the community for gifting me. All of the decks I'm using today were gifted to me, actually, by the community, so thank you. I love all my tarot decks. So the Eight of Cups is abandonment, walking away, letting go, searching for truth, and leaving behind. So the upright career meaning can be leaving an unfulfilling job, taking vacation, or escapism. I did think that I kind of pulled it inverted, but I also feel like this deck isn't really made for inverted cards. So if this doesn't fit at all, I will check out the inverted version of it. I will just let you know that inverted, it usually means accepting an unfulfilling job, fear of change in general. But I'm going to stick with the upright because it feels right to me that it's upright. So in your past, so in the past, you may have taken, this actually does make sense. I think it is meant to be upright. Leaving a stressful job or maybe taking time away from work. So in the past, you may have taken a break so that you could feel a bit more refreshed coming back to it. And sometimes when you take a step away, it also allows you to see whether or not this is something you want to be doing, which might be why you're asking this question, is if, like, should you return to streaming? Or, like, when you do return, like, what is that going to look like so that you can kind of mentally prepare to go back? Thor, thank you so much for the 10 stream streak. I appreciate you. Thank you for streaking. So then the 10 of Cups represents happiness, homecomings, fulfillment, emotional stability, security, and domestic harmony in the present here. And in career, it can mean a feeling of belonging at work, camaraderie between colleagues, fulfilling, and a supportive job. 10 of Cups is usually more attached to family than work, but this can also mean that there is some joy coming to your job. And it kind of talks about this idea of, like, your work environment feeling really positive and really supportive. So it could also be that, like, in streaming, you find this sense of camaraderie that is really helpful for you. Like, you have good connections with the people in your community. You have good connections with other streamers. And it makes you feel good to do that work. And you may also find that you have a good balance between your work and your life. It could also signify retirement or leaving a job to take care of family. I think it's probably more connected to the sense of the environment that you find and kind of maybe what pulls you towards streaming in the present. This idea of connection, this idea of forming these meaningful and fulfilling relationships with people through streaming and with your community. So to kind of have that support network in a positive way that you can provide for other people and also enjoy yourself, which makes a lot of sense, I think, considering knowing you, Cherry. I think that's something that fits with you. And then in the future, we're heading to the Queen of Cups. So this is really what you're asking about here is like, what will it look like if you continue down this path? So maybe you've taken a break in the past, you've come back to it a little bit, and you are feeling that pull towards the relationships, the connection, the work environment, which you think is positive and feel is positive. But in the future, where are we headed? If we stay on this path, the Queen of Cups represents compassion, warmth, kindness, intuition, healer, counselor, supportive. So it can represent at work, taking the role of career at work, seeking out support and compassion at work. So the Queen of Cups can represent a person in your workplace. Renelle, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. It can represent a person in your workplace who is providing that compassion and that guidance to you. Or it can also represent someone who maybe you are that person who is going to be kind of taking on that role to provide support and compassion to others. It can also represent that you need to be considerate in your future, that whatever path you go down, that you are feeling that and that it is something that is important to you. So you should feel emotionally fulfilled in your work. And if you're not finding it emotionally fulfilling, then maybe it's something to move away from. But if you are finding that it's emotionally fulfilling, then I would say this is the path for you. You're on the right path right now. Now, the Two of Cups is our theme. So I just want to take a quick look to see what the Two of Cups can kind of represent. The Two of Cups represents unity, partnership, attraction, connection, close bonds, joining forces, and mutual respect. In career, it can be good relationships with colleagues, helpful business partners, positive relationships. So it can be that your relationship, it sounds like your relationships are really the foundation of maybe why you do streaming. And so what this theme is reminding us of is just that this entire reading is really founded on that idea of your connection with people through your work and how important and meaningful that is to you in your job, that you feel fulfilled emotionally as well as socially fulfilled, and that you also feel like you have a good balance where you can like step away from stuff, which it seems like this is saying, you know, you've taken the break, you're interested in these elements, and that is something that you can have in the future, whether that be through someone who's going to help guide you, whether you become that role for other people, or whether it is just about making sure that you feel that emotional fulfillment. So overall, this sounds pretty positive. It sounds like you are on the right path based on what the tarot have to say, but that's just my interpretation. How does this sound to you, Cherry? Is this resonating with you? Vito, welcome in. Your comment section's not working properly. Oh no, Peter. Can't give long sentences. Is it cutting you off? I think there's a character limit, but I don't know what it is. I hope you're able to resolve it. Maybe it's a YouTube glitch. It's spot on, says Cherry. Making me emotional, actually, because it's so true. Oh, I'm so glad that it resonates with you, Cherry. Yeah, it sounds like the relationships that you form in your streams are kind of the foundation of why you love streaming. And so if you're finding that still fulfilling, then it's only going to become more so in the future if you continue to build that community. So overall, sounds pretty positive. Just remember that, you know, why you're doing it. Like, this is a card that also has, like, it's not about financial fulfillment, it's about emotional fulfillment. And so, like, just continue to stay focused on that. I get that way too sometimes, where when I'm doing work, I get like concerned about the numbers. And obviously, you know, I'm self-employed and I have bills to pay. So it's reasonable of me to be concerned. But I also find the times when I do my best work and when I actually also am the most successful financially is when I tap into the reasons of why I do something, just, you know, personally, creatively, like what feels good to me. So I'm glad to know that, you know, this is just something that as long as you focus on that, I think you're going to feel really fulfilled with it. Renell says the length limit of Twitch is 500 characters per message, and the limit of, I think, Twitch is 200. I think you mean YouTube, Renell. I think Renell is saying that the character limit on YouTube, guys, for those of you in the YouTube chat, is 200, but it tells you when you're getting close on YouTube. But on Twitch, it doesn't tell you. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, that's okay, Renell. I knew what you meant. Yay, I'm so glad that this spoke to you. If you want to take a picture, Cherry, please feel free. Rob, thank you so much for the 50 biddies. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for the bits, guys. Let me know, for people that are supporting, if you guys would like a reading or anything I can add you on. I only have about an hour and a half left, probably, of stream, but I'm going to try to get to as many people as I can. You had trouble last night, too? Oh, well, I hope you figure it out. All right, Peter, I hope you get it fixed. And it was lovely to see you, even albeit briefly. Thank you so much for joining us and chatting for a bit. Goblin Queen met Green Goblin? What do you mean, like in the comics? I'm not sure. Is that something that happened recently? Or do you mean like because I'm the Goblin Queen? No connection to Green Goblin from the Goblin Queen. More like demonic goblins. Dang it. Is my Bluetooth still on my phone? Is that why I can't connect my earbuds? Yes, it is. Oh, I'm so glad, Cherry. I'm so glad you got it as well. All right, we're going to move on to Jamie. I'm fine in the waiting room for now. You off and running with Duck later, Amanda? No, I have a lot of other work to do, though. I have a collab, I have a photo shoot, and I have another collab that I'm filming. And there's some other stuff that I want to film, and I also want to take some pictures of Maddie if I can find some time. For the socials and for the other plays. Marvel does like their goblins. This is true, Rob. Jamie, you ready? All right. Hit me. What's your question, Jamie? What would you like to ask? The cards. And then next up on deck will be Gothmok, then Duncan Mallory. The bottles recycling took me more than an hour. I started a bit before you started the stream and finished 20 minutes ago. Wow. Well, you did have a lot of bottles. How much did you get back, Renell, for all your bottles? Do you get paid for each bottle? Trying to not be so hyped. Oh, man. No, bring the hype. Let's go. Love some hype. Who should rule Limbo? I think let's let Maddie take it for a bit, you know? I feel like Maddie is running with it, and Magic needs a break. Yeah, but Magic didn't want it. She wanted to give it to Maddie. So you know, I think as long as that's still going well, I'm not as up to date. So I don't know. Is that still going well? 56.40. Nice. Pretty decent chunk of change. That could be a game. How can I be more independent and self-sufficient? Let your intuition guide you to the deck. All right. All right, Jamie is asking, and let me just update our on deck here. So we've got Gothmok is next, then Duncan Mallory, and then just Rob. Did you say that you wanted to join the queue, or no? You were just cool, like chilling. Is that what you were saying? Patrick, welcome in. I don't really have celebrity crushes. I like to live in the real world with my crushes usually. Who are your guys' celebrity crushes? I do watch Stranger Things, yes. I have not heard all of the Daredevil dialogue in Rivals with all the characters. No, not yet. Still hyped, but with tea. Ooh, we like a tea. Fire Thunder said, I'm too poor for comics nowadays. I'll let you know after my next payday. All right. All right. Yeah, I know Maddie has, Maddie was taking it over for Magic. Magic wanted her to take it over, though, so it was good. It wasn't like she took it by force, at least initially, but, you know, that was back in the Krakoa days, so who's to say? Duncan Mallory says Anna Kendrick. Ooh, that's a good pick. Anna Kendrick is pretty cute. Patrick says Margot Robbie, Gal Gadot, and Charlize Theron. Also great picks. I love Charlize. Jamie said I shouldn't say my crushes. It reveals too much. Secret crushes only. Okay, well, I'm going to put Ghost Jason on here then. So I think just Rob was cool just chilling. But if anyone wants to be added, obviously you can let me know. Elizabeth Olsen. Gothmok and Lord Monk, same celebrity crush. Also a great pick. I do want to make a tea, actually. After this reading, I'm going to put the kettle back on. I've tried to make a tea 3 times this afternoon and have not managed to get to it. I keep turning the kettle on, walking away, going and doing something, and then being like, dang, I still haven't made that tea. But it's all set up and ready to go. I just got to pour the hot water. You know, if I did have a celebrity crush, I think Eva Green would be mine. Good pick, Gary. All right. Let's see. How can Jamie be more independent and self-sufficient? How can Jamie be more independent and self-sufficient? I'm feeling Red Sonja again. All right. Sonja it is. We appreciate you. Get your tea, says Gary. Thank you, Gary. I will after this reading. I promise. I'll get my tea. Jamie is asking, how can I be more independent and self-sufficient? Card number 1. The 7 of Wands. Ooh, I love the artwork on this card. Card number 2. The Emperor. This one was inverted, but like I said, I don't really think there are inverted cards in this deck because of the backings. 2 of Pentacles. But we can maybe check it out inverted if the upright is not speaking to us. For our theme, 9 of Pentacles. A little bit of Wands, a little bit of Pentacles, and a little bit of the higher cards. What are those called? Why can't I remember them off the top of my head? You know what I mean. The Major Arcana. Thank you, Google. You welcome inversions? Yeah, inversions can be good. It could be inverted. It might be like this. But we'll see. I feel like this deck is not really a deck where things are supposed to be inverted because you can very clearly tell on the back when things are inverted or not because of the way the card is. Which makes me feel that it's not supposed to have inversions, but I don't know. Maybe the fact that the back of the deck is upside down is just based on how you pick it up. So you're just supposed to see that and not judge it. Maybe. So starting with our past card, 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands. Sounds pretty good. I'm going to be real with you for the past here on this question. Protectiveness, standing up for yourself, defending yourself, protecting territory. So in the past, this is representative of the struggles that you need to go through to maintain your position rather than to attain it. So these are about continued struggles that we continue to face, that we have to go through to have success. That you kind of have to like maintain that. So in your past, you've been challenged before and you have answered the call and you have maintained that. And you've remained dedicated to it. And I wonder if this being in the past is also an indicator, based on the question, that this is a reminder of something that you have done before that you need to like keep holding on to. Like you need to take this from your past and carry it forward. Because I'm always thinking about now, like when something is brought up in the past, what does that represent and why is the tarot showing us that? What is the significance of that moving forward and why is that the card we're getting? The overall meaning of the Seven of Wands is to hold your ground no matter what is challenging your position. There might be setbacks that you've been through, but you have to keep fighting and don't give up, basically. So this is like, you have done that in the past and you haven't given up, so that's good. Our present card is the Emperor. Which in an upright position represents stability, structure, protection, authority, control, practicality, focus, and discipline. So this is where you're at right now. So the Emperor is a strategic thinker who sets out plans and sees things through, representative of kind of the masculine side or the masculine principle, kind of a paternal figure that gives you structure. However, this can also be you. The Empress is more focused on happiness, but the Emperor is more like honor and discipline. So it's like staying a little bit more strict. This is a good Emperor, though, who's acting not like probably what Red Sonja, who this guy is. Probably not so good if Red Sonja's standing in front of him. The Emperor is typically a pretty positive figure who does what he does for the goodness of his kingdom. So he's acting rationally, practically, methodically. And this can represent a chance to grow in terms of the goals that you've set for yourself, Jamie. So it presents a successful future as long as you stay focused on what you want. So you just have to approach things methodically, strategically, and be mindful of that. It could also mean that something is going to come to you where you will actually be put in charge of something and kind of need to become that ruler figure. So this can be a representative of that. But it sounds like you've already held your ground in the past. And currently you are trying to set up, or if you are able to set up in your present, kind of this approach to how to go about getting what you want and approach it from a strategic, a methodic place, a more rational place, then you will be successful. But let's see what the Two of Pentacles has to say. Two of Pentacles. Because the Emperor is pretty optimistic and pretty like, if you stay the course, you'll do well. You just need to stay focused. So if you focus on that independence and that self-sufficiency, you'll continue down that path. So upright, it can be balancing resources, adaptation, resourcefulness, and flexibility, and stretching resources. Reversed, it can mean imbalanced, unorganized, overwhelmed, messiness, chaos, overextending. But I feel like it makes more sense for it to be upright. But you can let me know if this is how you feel. If you feel optimistic, or if you feel like you're kind of doing this and you're worried. Because then maybe the reverse could be true. I don't know, though. This overall seems to be a pretty positive reading so far. Curious what the Nine of Pentacles will represent for our theme here. This is a card that is about balance. And if you don't have balance, like everything can be just thrown off, is the idea. There is a possibility that you're trying hard to keep the two aspects of your life in a perfect and delicate balance. This could be your career, money, love, and health. And the balancing act depicted in the card suggests that there are two major factors that you are deeply concerned about. I also wonder if maybe there's something, like there are kind of two forces pulling you in these ways where you want to be independent, but there's something kind of maybe pulling you to the other side, and maybe those are the two forces. But basically there are two things that are a little bit at odds that you need to seek balance with between those two things. Or perhaps it's two things that are in conflict that might in the future kind of pull you away from all of the work that you've done. So this could be something that's just kind of warning you to keep balance in mind. Maybe it's more of like a sideways card where like it's got a little bit of both sides, where it's like you're seeking that balance, but there might be a bit of a struggle. So something to keep in mind. And it says that you've done a good job keeping things stable, for you seem to be able to adapt well to the changes that ask you to continually rebalance. So in regards to health, it can be about taking care of your own well-being and balancing your responsibilities so you're not overextending yourself. And then in regards to finances, it can be about making sure you're focusing on the bottom line, making sure you're not overspending, budgeting, looking at like, you know, if there's more things that you want, like how do you increase your income to help meet your expenditures. So it could also play into that. I think maybe something more internal is going on with this reading. That's my instinct, but I could be wrong. So let me know what you think. Sounds like as long you're focused right now, so keep that focus going. Remember that it's a constant fight. You're going to have to constantly be mindful from your past. But if you are, then you will have success there. If you stay focused, you'll have success there. And in the future, you just need to watch out to make sure that things are in balance and that you aren't going too far one way or the other to kind of lose that sense of independence that I think you're working hard right now to build up for yourself, if I'm correct with the reading, and that self-sufficiency. And then the Nine of Pentacles represents, for the themes of the reading, rewarded efforts, success, achievement, get this, independence. That's crazy. Leisure, material security, and self-sufficiency. Literally, what this card represents for our themes is what you asked about. What the heck is that? That's in the definition of the card. On Labyrinthos, that's where I look up when I'm not using a guidebook. I like Labyrinthos, so I go there. So yeah, that's very interesting. Nine of Pentacles. So this is, you're at a place where you're feeling confident, independent, and self-sufficient. And most of your journeys are kind of over, and now you're moving into a place where you're celebrating and kind of trying to decide the wider perspective that you need to understand the spiritual value of success and kind of take stock of everything that you've done to get to this point. And that you maybe are not completely there, but there's something that you're working on to get you all the way. But there's still, you've come super far in your journey. So I think what this is saying is like, this is your journey so far, and like you are almost there, you know, that's kind of the theme, but you're just missing that little bit more where you can really feel 100% independent. But you're on your way. It sounds positive. It sounds like you are doing the things you need to be doing. Just you need to keep sight of that and stay focused, I think, is really key. I always think the present card is the most important card in a reading when I do my 3-card spreads, because present is where we're at. And this is like, man, we get so focused on the past and the future, I think, as people. It's so important to stay present, because if you don't, you'll never get to where you want to be. And you'll never be able to appreciate where you are. So that's my thoughts. I'm magic. What can I say? Am I magic? Am I psychic? Could I have just guessed that person's star sign? Maybe. I don't know. Okay, so Jamie, what are you saying? Let me just see your responses to this reading. Lots of setbacks. So now if I make a plan, I need to get it done. More structure, more discipline, more practical. Yeah, just stay focused on it. I try not to worry anymore. Perhaps reversed is a warning. Regular could be results. Yeah, I'm thinking it's kind of a little bit like this, to be honest. Renelle, you want a reading, but you don't have a question for now. No worries. I can still add you to the list. And when we get to you, feel free to kind of figure out what you want to ask. Do you want a little bit of time to think about it, Renelle? Do you want me to do like another reading and then come, and then maybe I'll do Gothmock and Duncan Mallory, and then I'll come to you, and then we'll get to the people that requested that are not members or subs, and I'll try to get some of those folks in if I can in the next hour. I can feel conflict pulling on either side. Maybe finding balance is the way forward. Yeah, I can tell it's internal. It's difficult when helping support the family sometimes. And maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's the family is one side and you're the other side of this balancing act. And you know, you want to help your family obviously, but you also want to take care of yourself. And to seek true independence, I mean, that is part of it, but I also feel like it's a good idea to still look out for, you know, people that you care about in your family. So that's the challenge, maybe. Maybe that's what's going to be tempting you. Vamp, Mage, Soul Stealer. Who is Amanda McKnight? Definitely a Soul Stealer. That's me. 100%. I love stealing souls. They're so delicious. Yeah, stay focused, stay determined. Keep fighting the good fight as you've been doing. Gotta keep that maintained. But keep it practical. Try to not be... And I mean, that also works with what you were saying, where you're trying to not let yourself get so emotionally worked up about things. I feel like that also falls in line with the Emperor, which is what you're trying to do right now, which is stay practical, stay rational. Which can be hard with things, but I think you're on the right path. Let me know if you want a picture of this or when you're good, and then I'll move on next to Gothmock. Gothmock, do you have a question for me? And which deck would you like? Do you have a preference? Hi, Ricardo. Welcome in. Ooh, Citizens has some insight that they wanted to add on this. They will meet challenge with steadiness, using resistance as fuel for growth. That sounds pretty accurate, I think, to this reading as well. They will establish structure where uncertainty once ruled, shaping order through deliberate action. They will balance shifting duties with calm precision, letting adaptability become strength. Each effort will serve the larger design of independence and self-mastery. Through discipline, they will construct stability. Through persistence, they will secure lasting peace and prosperity. Yo, I feel like that's also some good insight that Citizens has in the YouTube chat. Thanks for sharing. Aw, Locke, you have no soul. Dang. Darn it. You're probably stealing your own souls, honestly, as a redhead. Gothmog said, yes, I'm very happy with my job. I feel like I'm one of the few people, at least in Germany, who really likes their job. What do the cards say for my future in my job? And I let you choose the deck. I have no idea. All right, I will choose the deck. Wanzo, hello, welcome in. Screenshot taken. That was amazing. Thank you. And thank you, Citizens. You're welcome, Jamie. And yes, Jamie says from the Twitch side, thank you, Citizens Flight Federation, for sharing your insight on the reading. Appreciate it. We have some other tarot enthusiasts in chat, and I always love to hear what they think, too. Okay. All right. Gothmock. We're going to move on to you. I'm just going to make a tea first, if that's cool with you guys. And then we will jump into our next reading for Gothmock here. Let me update my player friend is what it's called, but it's actually my tarot rotation. Gothmock wants to know about their future in their job. And then next we have Duncan Mallory. And then Ronell, maybe? Give Ronell a bit of time to think of a question. And then Ghost Jason 111 will be after that. And then after that, Gary, it'll be you if you're still with us over on the YouTube side. I will make some tea. This has been we've had some pretty good readings. I hope this continues. I hope I continue to have some really constructive and hopeful things to say to people. It's my favorite when we get some really really nice readings. Captain America says, I have a soul. Well, don't be telling us, Captain America. Locke and I are soul stealers. We might try to take your soul from you. That's good that you have a soul. Don't worry, I won't take your soul. Everyone's soul that's in my chat is safe. Because you're watching the stream. But the people that don't watch my streams, you need to warn them. You need to be like, you should watch Vamp's streams, because she might steal your soul otherwise. I can't guarantee she won't steal it. You'll be asleep one night, and you'll wake up, you'll have no soul. Okay, alright. I'm gonna, you can ask about anything. Yes, Ronell. The only thing that I ask is that you just keep it open-ended. So you don't want to ask questions like, you know, will I get married in the next year? Yes or no? Or, will I get that promotion I've been aiming for? Will I be happy? You would want to ask questions like, what does the future of my relationship look like in the next year? You know, what are my prospects like for romance? How can I achieve the position that I want in my career? So you just want to try to phrase it in a way that isn't a yes or no question or like a this or that. Like, should I eat chicken or should I eat potatoes for dinner? Or should I have both? Because potatoes are not a dinner item. All right, okay. I'm going to go get my tea. Do you guys want some words on stream while I'm gone? Or some kukuro? Do you guys want to play some games? Is Duck soulless? I can't say, in case Duck's watching. Yeah, words? Okay. We're going to do some words on stream while I'm gone. I will just say to the people that are in the YouTube chat, how it will work is there is a QR code down over here in the corner. You guys can see that QR code on the screen. You can scan that with your phone, and then all you have to do is log into Twitch in order to play on your phone. For everyone else that's on the Twitch side watching, you can actually just type directly in the chat, and all you're trying to do in this game is you're taking the letters that are on the screen and you're trying to make them into words, like it's showing us here with ECAF, and then, you know, that could be face, and then you put face in, and then you get points if that's correct. So that is basically how it works. I'll let you guys give it a go, and I'll be back in just a few moments once I have my tea. Good luck, everyone. Captain America, I can see you asking about tarot readings in the chat. Actually, I'm just going to type my answer to you. Hello everyone, I'm back. Alright, Captain America, I'll write your question down for when we get to you, if we get to you today. But hello everybody. I'm gonna remove myself so that I'm not in the way of words. But, yeah. Whoa, what does that mean? Why is it showing all question marks? Sages. Ah, because the second one, no, I don't even know. It's so weird that it shows all question marks. Alright, no worries, Captain America. We'll be here for a little bit. Tea has been acquired. I have a lot of tea. Also, Red, welcome in. How's it going? Thanks for being a member. Jarrell, thank you for being a member as well. How are you doing? Nice. Level 20. Yo, guys, we're almost at, I think... What did I say? I think 25 is the highest I've ever gone with words on stream. And then we will... no, I'm not going to be on stream just because I'll be in the way of the words with where my camera is. I mean, maybe if I move myself down here, then it's not as bad. I could be in this corner. And then I'm on screen. Even then, I feel like I'm still in the way because people want to see what their names are so they know if they're locked. Matt is currently locked. Unlocked. Yeah, I'm just gonna make myself disappear for now, but I'll be back. I'm here just as a disembodied voice. Hello. Hi, Kimberly. Welcome in. Reality. Good at this game. At Words on Stream? I think y'all crushing it. Oh, good try, everyone. Good try. Best efforts. Let me just, that's our leaderboard. Congrats to Matt, Lord Monk, and Jamie, who are our top 3 in that level. And Matt and Lord Monk in the Rain, who are our top overall. And the bottom after 8, just the ones you can't see on screen, are Renell, Ghost Jason, Duncan Mallory, and Marvel Man. Thank you so much for playing, everybody. The highest we've got to is level 25, so we're very close to beating it that time. Hello. I have returned. And I'm ready to do some more readings. I did turn off my Bluetooth. I also took a quick bio break, so that was great because that was needed. And I got more water. Yay, water, hydration, key to your success. Oh no, your phone died on you mid-round? And you had to transfer over to browser? No, the question marks were crazy. I was like, that's really hard. When you can't see other people's words, it's like, but that's how I think of things. I need to see how we're doing. All good, Locke. All right, Rapala. Good luck with the next meeting. Do I find Henry Cavill hot? Yeah, I'd say Henry Cavill's an attractive guy. Married, though. And a papa. Alright, we're going to be going on to Gothmock's question. Gothmock said that I should let the cards guide me. Gothmock, are you here with us? Are you ready? I have my tea. I got a very big cup of tea. It says, life happens, chocolate helps. Tea also helps. Yes. All right. Have I watched the Ed Gein show yet? I have not. I don't think. Still hear the game music. Oh yeah, I haven't closed the window. There we go. Window is closed. No, it's just you and me. Dario's asking, have you ever been friend zoned? Yes. Many times. Let's see which... Nice big mug. Yeah, thank you. I have one with pumpkins on it. We gotta bust that one out at some point this month. I need to get some more pumpkin chai tea. I'm like out of my pumpkin chai right now. Gothmock wants to know what the cards say for their future in their job. I think it's Vampy. Vampy's calling me. How do I feel about Lestat de Loncourt? Very good, Joker. Very good. Lestat is my favorite forever. Love Lestat. The hottest of hotties. That's, you know, that's my celebrity crush. It's Lestat de Loncourt. What is the Ed Gein show? I don't understand. Okay, I'm gonna shuffle these. Gothmock is asking, what do the cards say for the future in their job? What do the cards say for the future and Gothmog's job? What do the cards say for the future and Gothmog's job? What do the cards say for the future and Gothmog's job? What do the cards say for the future and Gothmog's job? What do the cards say for the future? So this is the High Priestess is our past card. And then we have the Eight of Swords for our present. These maybe are all supposed to be inverted according to this deck, but like I said, it's another deck where I don't think the cards are ever meant to be inverted because the back is like very one way because it's got the Vampirella symbol. So if it were upside down, you'd be able to tell. Pretty much my entire deck right now I think is inverted, so I'm just going to ignore that. But important, I guess, if anything comes up that we're like, that doesn't really fit. Maybe the inverted could be relevant. This is the Three of Swords, which is your future. And for our theme, Gothmog, we have the Devil. The Devil for our theme. Love the art on that card. Some good art in this deck. It's a show on Netflix called Monster. Insert real killer here. It's supposed to be a docu-series, but it's not really. Oh, yeah, I did see this advertised to me on Netflix, and I was like, I think I'm at my, like, quota right now for, like, serial killer things. You know what I really want more of, actually? Was it Mindhunter? Is that what it's called? Mindhunter. I want more Mindhunter. When was the last time we got a season of that show? 2019. We're never getting any more seasons of that show. Are we? I don't think so. That's the only serial killer show that I'm interested in right now. I don't know about... I also feel like it's kind of weird, docuseries about, like, serial killers. Because it's like, it kind of feels like a bit... Like, it's interesting, so I totally get why people like it. Like, I'm not trying to throw shade at anyone. But it does feel a bit, like, weird. Like, it feels like we're glorifying it. Jarrell, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you, Jarrell. Kimberly, what do the cards say about your future? If you want, I can add you back onto the list. I actually called for your name at the beginning because I know that you would put your name down last time. So if you want, I can add you back onto the list, but I'm not sure if we'll have time to get to you today because I'm going to be done stream in about half an hour. So I can add you on. Right now you'll be under Captain America. I think your username was something different last time, though. But I think this is the same Kimberly. Mindhunter was really good and may come back. It's in discussion. Years later, we return to Mindhunter. I would be fine with that. I like Mindhunter. Mindhunters was a good horror movie. I haven't seen the horror movie, but Mindhunter, the show, very, very good. Chris Hunnam is actively saying not to glorify the show. Oh, okay. I know, it was canceled. Yeah, Mindhunter is really good. Eric said, I'm definitely not watching it as a biography. Oh, okay. So it's not, like, super accurate? So, like, what is it about? The Ed Gein docuseries. So it's not It's not really a docuseries. Okay. Let's start with the High Priestess here for Gothmog. I'm going to go into my reader mode for a little bit, but definitely down to chat a bit more about serial killer shows. They are interesting, I will say. But I think I like them best when they're like kind of fictional. But maybe this is that. Maybe it's not supposed to be a docuseries. I don't know. Netflix does love their docuseries, but it could be like misrepresented in terms of marketing. I don't know. I only saw it pop up on Netflix. And it was definitely felt like it was promoted as documentary style. So our High Priestess is your past, and this represents unconscious, intuition, mystery, spirituality, higher power, and inner voice. In career, it represents education, creative inspiration, guide or mentor, and use instincts. So maybe you are in a job that you studied for. I'm not sure if that's true, Gothmog. That's just my takeaway from this card verbatim. But what it's saying here is that in the past, if you were in a creative field, then this card can suggest new inspiration coming into your work. It could represent education or higher learning. So potentially there's something in your past that you studied for. Kinda yes. Okay. There's likely a lot of information there that will aid you. At times, this card can also signal the appearance of a mentor or guide that can help you progress further in your work. So I feel like, I don't know why it's trying to remind us of your past education and people in your life that have guided you to this place. Maybe there was also someone who said something to you before that's really resonated with you and it's like coming back around. Or maybe it's just that your education is going to play a key role into your potential future. But it's interesting that the High Priestess has come up. I also think it's interesting that it's got a connection to the intuition. I wonder if your, feelings that you have a job that you actually like, which is rare, you were saying sort of like in Germany, might be an idea that your instincts to this job that like kind of put you into this place are something that we want to keep in mind for something that happened in the past. But that's the High Priestess. And then we've got the Eight of Swords. Also makes sense that we'd have education in the past, considering that you're currently at the job now. So Eight of Swords in an upright position can represent trapped, restricted, victimized, paralyzed, helpless, powerless, or imprisonment. That doesn't really sound like anything that you described. If it's inverted, as I said, like all of these cards also may have been inverted. And I will say, inverted, this means feeling isolated, lacking project information, or rejecting intuition in the past. For career. This, if it's inverted, represents freedom, release, taking control, survivor, facing fears, empowered, and surrender. So with the Eight of Swords in career, upright, it can mean dependence on job, can't change careers, or fear of job changes. Maybe it's less of a fear of a job change, though, and more of like you're feeling comfortable in your job. So this is saying you might be thinking of changing your job, but you feel kind of trapped if it's in an upright position, and you feel kind of like you need that steady income. You can't really move right now because you don't have enough built up to give you the option to look at something else. And it's saying that, you know, if you're seeking something else, maybe just asking for help is good. I kind of want to look at the reverse for it as well. So in the reverse, it says, new job to reach potential, freedom from anxiety, and continued struggle. Ghost Jason, thank you so much. Or welcome on into the Fang Gang. Anonymous, thank you so much for gifting to Ghost Jason. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. Ghost Jason now will get bumped up to the group of us that is a sub, because they are a sub. It may have taken a while, but you finally found release from your anxiety about your career. It can suggest a new job or position that you have attained, one that allows you to realize your full potential. That sounds more accurate, like something that you are feeling good in, where you feel like you have the possibility. But it can also represent losing all hope and resign to the idea that no matter what you do, this is the only path for you. Right. So once again, it's like you have options. I think you're good though. I don't think you want any options. So maybe this is supposed to be reversed, and it's just the idea of you being in a place where you feel comfortable in your job. It's kind of a weird card to pull, the Eight of Swords, based on what you said. Unless maybe something is going on and you are feeling kind of trapped, and that's why you're asking about this, is you are kind of interested in trying something else, even though you're happy in what you're doing, but you have other goals that you want to achieve. So let me know, Gothmok, if either of those sounds like an interpretation that resonates with you or not. And then your future is the Three of Swords. Dick Grayson, hello, welcome in. Which upright is... This is okay. See, I jinxed it now by saying all of our readings were so positive today. Heartbreak, separation, sadness, grief, sorrow, upset, loss, trauma, and tears. What? I don't like that for your future. But it could also be reversed. Upright means conflicts at work, job loss, hurt feelings at work, feeling hopeless. That doesn't sound good. So this is saying that in the future, there might be problems at work that will cause conflicts between your colleagues or between clients. It can also signify the loss of job, or like perhaps the company you're working for going under, but I hope not. Gosh, I hope that's not what it means. But it could also be reversed. So the reversed career meaning for this one is putting conflicts behind, developing better processes. And this is like you're going to resolve the conflicts and things are going to be starting to look better if you had conflicts. Huh. I don't know if this reading is accurate at all. This feels so weird. This feels not in line with what you asked. I'm curious about the devil. So let's see what the theme is and see if that gives me any ideas for what the heck this is trying to tell us. So the devil represents oppression, addiction, obsession, dependency, excess, powerlessness, and limitations. So, I mean, I guess the question is, Gothmok, God damn it. Yeah, I know. Take this with a grain of salt, because I feel like maybe this is a dud, this reading. Just based on what you asked. Because it sounded like you were feeling pretty happy in your workplace. Are you feeling trapped at all at work? Is it a job that you like, but are there other things that you would like to be doing? I guess that's a question to you. And if the devil was reversed, which I think this card also could have been reversed. I think these all could have been reversed. Independence, freedom, revelation, release, reclaiming power, reclaiming control. But it doesn't sound like there's anything for you to reclaim, because it sounds like you're pretty comfortable from what you said. Upright, it can be feeling trapped in job, blaming colleagues, or self-sabotage. And reverse, the devil could mean more accountability and career path, feeling empowered at your job. So let me know what you're thinking of this, and kind of how are you feeling about this? Does this feel accurate? It feels weird to me, but I wonder if, like, are there some underlying issues that you've been thinking about that maybe aren't prominent? So, like, overall you're happy, but let me know. Sorry I don't have better cards for you today. But if these were all reversed, it wouldn't be as bad. At least. But yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on it. I jinxed it for sure. I put this out into the world saying everything was positive. So this reverse can be feeling isolated, lacking project information, rejecting intuition in the past. So this is saying, if you had it in reversed, that maybe in the past you've dealt with situations where you didn't have all the information for work and you were just kind of trying to do your best. And while you have decided to stay at your place of employment, there is something that might be calling you elsewhere, but you've been kind of trying to ignore or push down that feeling. Eight of Swords in reverse. If these are all reversed like I thought they were, maybe. New job to reach potential. Freedom from anxiety and continued struggle is the reverse card meaning. So it may have taken a while, but you finally found release from your anxiety about your career. Things are easier now. And like I said, this can also represent that you have a job or a position that is new, or something in your life that is allowing you to realize your full potential. So this is something you're moving into in the present, which might signify this job if it's something that's newer, but I don't know if it's newer for you. And then the Three of Swords, if it's in reversed, it represents putting conflicts behind you and developing better processes. So you've resolved problems and things are starting to do better in the future. And any conflict that you had, people may have like moved on from that, or people might be now working on like just moving forward from past mistakes and working together on the future. So there's better communication in the future, less chances for you to make the same mistakes as you have in the past. However, it can also point to a worsening because people can't get past what happened and they hold grudges. Maybe. It's like a tricky reading. And then if this were reversed, it would be about accountability in your career path, feeling more empowered in your job, reclaiming your accountability, and making some changes to avoid any future issues. And that you're like moving more towards a place of independence in your workplace. It sounds to me less like something about my job, but very related to my studies. At least the whole feeling trapped part. The thing is, once I graduate from university, I'm supposed to move up further in the company. It might be that the thought scares me because I like the way it is now. Oh, okay. That is information that is changing my whole interpretation of this reading. So I do think that these are all then kind of upright, but I think maybe what it's saying is like when that time comes, maybe if you aren't willing to accept that role where you're going to be moving up, that it might cause like conflict, and then ultimately that might cause you to leave or that job to be lost because now you're not going in the direction that they wanted you to go. I see. And that would make sense as to why we have the High Priestess here, because I was like, I don't know why we're talking about education, but I mean, it's relevant to job, so it's not completely irrelevant, but I'm just like, what does that have to do with what you asked? So maybe the future in your job is that they're gonna want to offer you something, but you might not want to take it. And so if that's the case, then you might be in a bit of a tricky situation. And the upright career meaning of the devil is actually self-sabotage is one of the meanings. So that would kind of fit with that, with this idea of, you know, you like where you're at, so you don't want to move up, but then not moving up might hinder your role and your position. Okay. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. I was just like, this makes no sense to me. I do not know what the cards are trying to tell us. Oh my goodness, Dick Grayson is holding on as Stream Boss with 38 health right now. Am I going to get Legends Z-Day? Probably I will, PP. Interesting. Okay, well, let me know if you want to take a picture of this, Gothmog. That makes a lot more sense. So I do think everything's supposed to be upright then. And while it does sound kind of negative, it also sounds like it's just something that you need to decide and kind of reconcile with. And this might just be kind of like if you are nervous about that, just a heads up that like if you can't reconcile the fact that you might be moving up and taking on the extra responsibilities of whatever job is next in the sort of tier, you might need to look for something else because that might not fly where you are, which is, I guess, still negative, but kind of in a positive way because it's just allowing you to gather more information on, you know, how you're feeling and just kind of letting you know that, like, you know, if you want to stay here, it might not work out for you. If you want to stay at the level you're at. That makes more sense. Kit, yes, I'm doing a tarot card reading. That is correct. Jarrell, thank you so much for the coffee donation. Thank you so much. I'm sorry if I missed that. I get into my readings and I'm very, like, focused in. Well, I hope that it all works out for you, Gothmog. And, I mean, maybe there is still a way that, like, you could just talk about transitioning, like, a little bit more slowly and work on that communication. Because, you know, I think there is a potential for you to come out of this stronger. I think the Three of Swords kind of does have, whether we're talking about reversed or straight up, it kind of does have that double meaning of it can be more problems, but it can also lead to better communication. So sometimes if you can talk it out, there might be a better resolution for you down the line. Have you talked to anyone at work about, you know, those feelings, that apprehension? Maybe there's someone you can talk to about it, just so, like, you get ahead of it. Hey, Tim, welcome in. Blind Felon says, you have great thumbnails, AM. Amanda McKnight. That's me. Thank you. Thank you so much, Blind. A lot of them are done by Uptown Duck. It does most of my thumbnails. But the ones for streams are usually all me. Just pictures. Just a quick pic. I'm like, this is what I look like, and I'm going to do a thing. What am I doing for Halloween? I think I'm probably going to go out as Invisible Woman again because I spent a lot of money on my costume and I love it. And it's still very relevant because First Steps obviously came out this year. So Duck and I are going to go to a party as Mr. Fantastic and Invisible Woman. Jarrell, thank you so much for the $1 super chat. I appreciate you. Oh, whoops. I wanted to just unpin this. Not yet, but I can talk to my boss. Yeah, maybe just try to get ahead of it. Because if you do that, yeah. business card Twitch ad, it just gave you the chills after watching American Psycho. Was it referencing the part where they're comparing their business cards? Ghost Jason? Also, Ghost Jason, you were gifted a sub, by the way, by Anonymous. So if you'd like, you could probably refresh and you should be ad-free now that you're subscribed. Just realizing I could pin a comment so that people know how the tarot works. It's kind of late in stream, I guess, but I could do it. Okay, so next up is Duncan Mallory. Duncan Mallory, do you have a question for the tarot? And then on deck is Renelle. Renelle, how's your question coming? The future of dealing with your health issues after ignoring them for over 3 years? Ooh, that's a big question. Okie dokie. I can do that for you. Agatha deck. Hopefully, it'll all be good. But that'll be interesting to see what it says. And then next up is Gary. I don't know if I'm going to get to everyone. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm going as fast as I can. But it takes time. It takes time to do readings. All right, Agatha deck. Let me just clean this up. We'll grab the Agatha deck. You will be after Duncan Mallory if you have a question, Renelle. Nice, Kit. So considering cutting a shirt to a half shirt, I think you should do it. Why not? We love a crop. We love a crop. I have a question. Just tell me when to write. Okay, after this one. Thank you for the hydrate, Marvel Man. No one talks in other live streams? Kit. What? People gotta chat. Gary said, it's okay, you're doing great. Aw, thank you, Gary. I appreciate you. I'm sorry that I might not be able to get to you today, but I just want to say I appreciate everyone that's here and hanging with us. And thank you, everyone, for all the support. I don't know why my gifted sub didn't go up. We've had one, so let me just set the goal. There we go. Friendly reminder, just if we get to our goal of either YouTube members or Twitch subs today, of 10 on either side, and you also get to help me decide what my next cosplay will be for tomorrow. But for now, I'm going to focus on Duncan Mallory's question, and then maybe we'll get Renelle in at least. Oops, that was the wrong screen. We shall see. I got about 10 minutes. Tethered Raven, welcome in. All right, Duncan Mallory is asking, What is the future like for dealing with my health issues after ignoring them for over 3 years? Mallory wants to know what the future is like for the health issues after. Mallory wants to know what the future is like for the health issues after. I didn't actually cut the deck, but this feels right to me, so I'm just going to go with it. So we've got the Tower for your past. The Ten of Wands for your present. And the Two of Swords for your future. And all of these were seemingly reversed, but that's just based on the way I picked up the deck, so I don't think they're meant to be reversed. They don't feel like cards that should be reversed to me. Haven't really done a wash with this deck, so I haven't really had an opportunity to really reverse them. So, I mean, we could treat them all as reversed. We'll see what the cards say. Your theme is the Queen of Pentacles. So, the Tower. I have not watched The Frighteners yet. Not yet. Check out Hannibal, like the movie. I've seen the movie before. High Lantern Zone, welcome in. Okay, so the Tower. Liberation, upheaval, surprise. While Agatha has journeyed down the road with the Coven, another vengeful foe has followed, the Salem Seven. Lilia's divination skills, with the help of the Coven, allow Agatha to break free of the demons who haunt her, but not without dire consequences. When the last card is pulled, the Tower inverts, and the Salem Seven tumble to their death. But Lilia is lost too, a heart-wrenching consequence of Agatha ignoring her past. Well, this sounds kind of fitting, I guess. It's not easy to see the Tower come up in a reading. It almost always signifies an upheaval or unexpected shock. That said, you have control over how you approach this warning. If you have worked to course correct and realign with your values on your journey, you will be well prepared to face whatever comes your way. If you've ignored your intuition will make itself known, and it may not be pretty. This is a necessary step on any journey. Freedom is on the other side. So, the idea being here that I'm assuming in the past, you were kind of perhaps surprised by learning of some of these issues you've had, or perhaps you knew and this was kind of a reckoning because your intuition was kind of telling you about these problems, but you were ignoring it. So where are we now in the present? We have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands, so that is the full number. We have a full number, because 10 is the highest, round number. Burden, strength, and responsibility. Alice stands before the coven, her shoulders bare and burned. She had allowed them to see her scars when they first entered the trial. Now they witness the terrible pain of the curse maiming her in front of them. This is the burden Alice has carried in secret her entire life. It's no longer possible to do so alone. The curse now affects them all. This card marks the end of a journey filled with both adventure and conflict. If you've allowed your attention and energy to move in a million different directions, you may feel much more restricted than you did when you first began this journey. However, if you've stuck to the path, you may feel stifled creatively. The message lies in the middle. Which wands are worth carrying onward, and which are you ready to lay down? So this feels like you are now confronting, these problems in the present, and you're sort of forced to figure out what your focus is going forward. So maybe where you want to put that energy, and maybe how you need to make adjustments as you're entering this journey where you're going to have to be dealing with some of these issues. So it sounds like you're at a bit of a crossroads here for which way you want to go and how you want to approach it. Two of Swords is our future. So let's see what our potential future has in store. Blockages, occlusion, lacking information. When they enter the castle, Agatha and Billy are transformed, wearing the robes of two other iconic witches. They are faced with figuring out the next trial alone. Soon it becomes clear that they'll need to read tarot. There's only one problem. Neither of them knows how to do so. When this card appears, something is preventing you from seeing the situation clearly. A piece of information is needed before you can fully commit to a task. Ask yourself, what information do I need at this moment? So it sounds like you have been surprised and kind of thrown in the past, leading to you to have to decide in the present what you want your focus to be moving forward, leading to, in the future, a question of, what do I need in order to solve this? And so I think whatever path you take, there is going to be some questions you're going to have further down the line. And I think where your success in dealing with this could come in is just in making sure that you seek out the answers to those questions. And maybe this is important because in the past, you weren't necessarily looking for that information. You were maybe trying to avoid that information. So this is just encouraging you that in the future, when you do have those questions or you do feel something is up, like really listening to that and really seeking the answers, seeking the knowledge so that you have everything you need so you can best deal with the situation. And then our overarching card for our theme here is the Queen of Pentacles. Resourceful, nurturing, self-made. Billy awakens in the morgue and finds his tattered black notebook by his side. Without full knowledge on how to use his powers and time running out, he flips through the pages in search of something that can help him. Agatha and Jen out of this mess. But luck isn't on Billy's side this time. The pages have been blacked out. Although Billy certainly has his faults, he regularly expresses his concern for the rest of his coven and helps out whenever he can. Similarly, the Queen of Pentacles shows her love through practical work. Whether this card represents you or someone else, know that the answer to your question lies in the mundane details of your life. Pay more attention to the small things and watch them grow. So it sounds like this card is kind of just saying, you are a person that really cares for yourself and cares for other people and tries to put that in, but you need to make sure that you're paying attention to those little details. So I think what this is about is, once again, just kind of being a little bit more aware and using that sort of self-awareness to fill in the gaps where you need them so you can deal with the situation at large and kind of decide what's the best approach to how to handle it. Your ignorance was not your choice. Okay, so was it someone else that was keeping you in the dark, keeping you ignorant? And so maybe what this is saying then is in the future, it's just encouraging you to really, like, if you feel something, like, follow that intuition. I mean, the fact that intuition also comes up in this card, I don't think we can ignore the presence of the Tower here. And I think what then it's trying to say is not that it's something that you've ignored, but it's more that something that other people maybe have tried to dissuade you from exploring. I think it's really hard with health as well, because sometimes we have an indication, like we have a feeling that something is going wrong in our bodies. And there are other people that basically will just say to you, like, you are fine when you're not. And I've been in that situation, and it can be really frustrating to basically just have everyone tell you, like, it's a non-issue. You lost your health insurance for 3 years. So now that you have it back, it's time to play some catch up with that. Right. Well, I guess then this might not be something that's as dire either. This might just be saying to you, like, maybe try not to get overwhelmed with everything that you're dealing with. You know, don't let yourself be pulled in too many directions. Stay on the path. Take it one thing at a time. It can be daunting. And in the future, like, when you do have questions, like, dive into things. Don't let yourself go in with just, you know, a little bit of information. Like, if there's something that you have a question about, get the tests, get the answers that you need to feel comfortable. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. So I think it's just helping you to figure out how to best approach this, but hopefully everything is good, and any problems that you have will be nothing major, just like a lot of little things that need to be updated and adjusted, and that's going to be a lot. So, yeah, I feel you. You didn't eat dinner yet. Renelle, you need to eat dinner. Well, you're next up. Would you like to go next? I think you're going to be my last tarot of the stream, Renelle. Is there any other questions that you have, Duncan Mallory? And let me know when you are good, if you want to take a picture of this or take a screenshot. And then I will move on to Renelle, and then I think I'll be done. I just need to message my collab to let them know I'm just a few minutes behind, but I'll be right there. What deck are you using? Is that the Agatha All Along deck? This is the Agatha All Along deck, and much love to Chris, who gifted this deck to me. I love this deck. It's so pretty, and the card stock is such good quality. Got a screenshot? Nice. Yes. And I think it's good because it doesn't sound like anything crazy is going to happen. So it doesn't sound like there's anything dramatic that you have to worry about. Nothing major. I think it's just more about the approach to, like, how best to handle that situation that you now find yourself in. Am I writing a book? No, Lummox. I was just typing to let my collab know that I'll just be a minute. Doing a collab with Prashant after. I just wanted to let Prashant know I'm just finishing up my stream. And then I'll be there. And I want to see if we can actually record in Streamlabs, because I think there's a way you can invite people and then I could do the recording in here, I think. But I want to look. Kit said, we have that deck, but haven't opened it yet. Oh my gosh, it's such a gorgeous deck, honestly, Kit. Maybe I should do a video that's like an unboxing of it. Like, I already opened mine, but I could go through and like show people the cards. Because, yeah, it's a really beautiful deck. Yeah, that sounds daunting, Duncan Mallory. The 20-minute appointment turned out to be 1.5 hours long. That's so long. That's so much. But I'm glad that you finally have health insurance now, so you're able to kind of update everything and get everything handled so that you're feeling good about it. That's intense. Right, so you want to know, is it worth it to keep trying for a girl that you fell in love with 9 months ago, or should you move on? Right, so you want to know about what your future will be with this relationship with this girl. Yes, yeah. Definitely good to have, though. I live without health insurance, and even though I'm in Canada, it can be challenging at times even here. There's a lot of things that aren't covered. At least we have dental now, though. Dental is now covered by Ontario, covered by actually the federal government, I think, covers healthcare for dental. So I did get that, which is great because that helps with my costs. Because every time I've got anything to do with my teeth or my eyes, I just basically have to pay for it. But at least we don't have to pay to go to the hospital. That's like the most expensive thing. Renelle, do you have a preference for which deck you would like me to use? I have Vampirella, Red Sonja, and Agatha All Along out right now. Thank you, AJ, for the good luck. Some good stuff. Yeah, we got some pretty good readings today. It's always good to get your teeth looked at, and there's so many other issues that your dentist can see through your teeth. Teeth are like indicators of so many things. Also, hi Critter Nation, how's it going? No preference for deck. Okay. I think I'm going to stick with Agatha, so we can show people some more of it. Also, Agatha just feels right to me. Here we go, just updating our question here. I'm just going to kind of like also add in like what will the future of this relationship potentially be, just because having like two choices, like should I stay or should I go? Once again, tarot doesn't do great with like multiple choice, but I still feel like that's open-ended enough that the tarot will have some ideas for us. I keep clicking the wrong one. All right. Yeah, I also felt like it was a pretty positive one. We've had pretty positive readings. I think Gothmox was the only one that was like, I guess, kind of negative. But also at the same time, I did feel that Gothmox reading, it's positive in the sense that helping you figure out what you want. So there's still a positive kind of spin on it. Someone is coming for me and I have to get over my anxiety. Yeah, I mean, maybe someone is coming for you, or, you know, you're coming for yourself, which happens to us all. Sometimes we are all our own worst enemies. But I think if you, yeah, definitely dealing with your anxiety is going to be helpful, Otto. I mean, it sounds positive, though. It sounds like if you can deal with that, your future will be creatively fulfilling. No worries, Gary. Sorry I didn't get to you today. We do tarot readings every now and then, so I'm sure I'll do another one. So feel free to pop back next time we're doing one, and maybe we'll get to you next time. And thank you so much for joining us and watching and for asking to sign up. I really appreciate that. Okay. Renelle wants to know, I fell in love with a girl 9 months ago. Is it worth it to keep trying or move on? So hard to grab cards when you're wearing gloves. Oh my gosh. I just want... There we go. Present past is the Four of Swords. Your future, or your present, is the Six of Swords, and your future is the Five of Swords. A lot of swords. 4, 6, and 5. And for the theme, we have the Four of Wands. I don't know if we've gotten this card yet. I really like the art. All right. Starting off with your past. The Four of Swords, Renelle. Bye, Kit. Thanks for stopping by. Second Floor Comics, thank you so much for the kind words. Welcome in. So this is recovery, retreat, withdrawal. In a twist of fate, even a divination witch couldn't see coming, Billy puts his powers to use and throws Jen and Lilia off the witch's road. They sink through the mud and into an underground tunnel where they lie, stunned and dirt-streaked. These two witches need a moment to catch their breath, and maybe you do too. The trial you're currently facing is incredibly intense. Some part of you already knows there's more to come. When this card appears, it's critical that you pull back for a moment, rest up, and gain your bearings. So this could be in reference to how in your past, obviously you saw her, you came to know her in some fashion and fell for her, and maybe that's when, things changed. You didn't get to see her again. And so you kind of had this period where you were retreating, where you were kind of just doing your own thing and thinking about her, but not really able to pursue that relationship. Then we have the Six of Swords. Transition, change, and journeying. Jen and Lilia arrive at a crossroads in the underground tunnel. To the right, an opportunity to exit the witch's road. To the left, a bookshelf passageway that leads to the next trial. Though Jen is initially tempted to escape, both witches decide to journey further down the road. This card often signifies a transition on a longer journey. It isn't necessarily a dramatic change, at least not to onlookers, but it does indicate a quiet hope that the helplessness you felt may finally be relieved by this shift. Enter the passageway and trust that change is coming. So to me, this kind of indicates that maybe it is something that you should keep pursuing or keep an open mind to. of course, it is a journey, so it could also be like keep moving forward, like move on from this. So I could see it being interpreted either way. It does sound like you're moving towards something that is going to be a shift in your romantic life, which I'm curious about what that'll be. Let's look at the Five of Swords and see if that gives us any more insight into the future so that we can best understand the present. Conflict, humiliation, defeat. Billy discovers what it's like to get on Lilia's bad side during the divination trial. After hopping timelines, Lilia rushes Billy and grabs him by the collar, all while wearing a sparkly pink gown. I thought we were cool, she snaps, signifying her feelings of deep betrayal. Though Billy didn't mean to betray Lilia, hurt and humiliation are still present. This card signifies a conflict, usually a verbal one, that has left you feeling burned. It doesn't matter if you won the argument or not. The question is, what will you do about any lingering regrets? So, I mean, it might be that you're still continuing on the journey right now towards that relationship. But if you continue on that journey, it might end in a way where you don't feel great about it, where you have regrets about things that you did in the past. So maybe it might be better to give it up at this time. But let's see what the Four of Wands has to say, which is our theme for the reading, just to kind of give us a little bit of a headline for what this reading is really about at its core. It might provide some more guidance. Progress, self-confidence, success. Alice sighs. Oh, wait. That's 6. 4 is homecoming, security, foundation. As Alice wanders the recording studio, she finds herself face to face with a portrait of Lorna Wu, her late mother. She hasn't yet faced a sense of grief when it comes to her roots. Guilt overtakes Alice as she remembers Lorna's attempts to free them both from the family curse. Hiding in the background, a demon watches Alice in silence. This card indicates a homecoming of sorts and all of the emotion that come with it. No matter how adventurous you are, we all need to return to our foundation every once in a while to catch our breath. Consider where you're coming from to determine where you're going. So I think what this is saying is that, you know, if you want to move forward in a relationship, you need to make sure maybe this is about like you and your journey. This is about you and your foundation. And so I think what it's saying is ultimately with whatever you're doing, it's important to check in with yourself and see how you're feeling based on your own journey and your own self. So you don't want to move forward with something, I think, when you're moving from a place of simply wanting an end goal, right? Like it's about, this card could also be representing the fact that it's about the journey, and that maybe if we focus too much on where we'll be at, it might not end so well. So this could be a theme just referencing the fact that everything you're going through now and everything that you will go through is all about your own journey and your own sense of security, which comes from within. Edakaye, welcome in. Yes, tarot strikes again. I had you on my list too from last time. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to get to you. I unfortunately do need to end the stream after this reading, but I hope you're doing well, and hopefully next time I'll be able to get to you for a tarot card reading. I will try to remember the people I missed this time and maybe make you guys a bit more of a priority next time if I can. Man, sorry to hear the siblings are driving you nuts, Cherry. Welcome back, Cherry. No worries, no worries. I had you written down. So yeah, Renelle, what do you think of that? It sounds to me like the cards might be pointing towards just if you continue on this path, be aware of the fact that it might not lead to where you want, but I think there's still lessons for you to learn. So it's like either way you go, there's not really a bad way, but I think if you pursue it, it will lead in maybe a sense of regret or, you know, some humiliation perhaps. But there's still a lot that we can learn from that too. So it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. I kind of just want to look up some of the love meanings. So this represents withdrawing from love, alone time, taking a break. Am I going to be doing some Pokemon Z Day? Yes, I think I will be doing Pokemon Z Day at some point when it comes out. Is it out now? Did it just come out? I know it was coming out soon. This month? Tomorrow. Tomorrow it comes out. Too many good games coming out. Pokemon Z Day I want to play. And then right after that we have Bloodlines 2 and Dispatch. Yikes. But yeah, I do want to play. Oh, it's out in Japan right now. If I change my region to Japan on my Switch. So the Six of Swords for a romance represents moving on from a relationship, reconciling after a fight. Reconciling after a fight, sorry. So that could be an indicator that it's maybe time for you to move on, or maybe that's what you're trying to do right now. It can also signify that you're ready to move forward into something. Or it can signify that you're ready to leave behind the wounds of an old relationship, which is interesting. And then the Five of Swords, specifically in love, getting back together, forgiveness, or a breakup. Oh no, that's reversed. Tension, conflict, arguments, fights, irritability, wanting to be right. So I think what it's saying is either way that you go, you need to be mindful of the fact that there could be conflict, and you need to figure out kind of how best to handle that. Maybe it can make it easier for arguments and fights to materialize in the future, and conflicts can become more easy to spark. And finally, I'm just going to look at the Four of Wands. Weddings, engagements, gatherings, and public celebrations of love is what it means. So it's saying that if you are, this is saying that, you know, there is love in your life and a lot of support to be had. I think maybe just what this is saying is if you are to pursue this relationship, it's going to be challenging. But I think either way in your future, there's going to be conflicts romantically. But what is important is that you do have a strong foundation. So I think it's about kind of keeping yourself open to that, but making sure that you're coming at it from a place of feeling supported within before you move forward. And if you do end up, you know, pursuing this and being in that relationship, just be mindful of the fact that conflicts might be easier to spark in the future. And so you just need to be aware of that and try to mitigate that as best you can before that happens, before it bubbles over. Does this make sense to you, Renelle? Also, let me know if you're good when you've taken a picture for it. I do need to head out because I'm trying to get to this collab so I can get ready for my shoot. Afterwards. Prashan, welcome in. Speaking of the devil. Hello, Prashan. How are you doing? Would it be possible to use multiple decks in a choose your own adventure style tarot reading? Probably, Blind Felon. I've never done anything like that before. Choose your own adventure tarot reading. What would that be like? Red, hello, welcome in. Samantha, yes, unfortunately, we're just wrapping up. So maybe there's something about it. Yeah, there might still be something there, but just be wary of the fact that it may lead to some conflict in the future if you kind of continue on that path. So just be aware of that and remember the foundation that you have. The idea that, you know, you do have that support, and look to that, I think, to stabilize you. Like, I would say that our theme here is kind of like the guiding light is there's a lot of love in your life. A lot of different types of love. Friendship, familial love, potentially romance on the horizon. But I think ultimately the fact that this is focused on like a foundation too kind of says like there's not too much of a rush. So I think the door is still open for it if you want to try and pursue it, but there might be conflicts. So you might get into some arguments. So just be mindful of that. Yeah, I have to get going, guys, because I have some other stuff to do. Prashan and I are going to film a collab, which also, let me give a shout out to my friend Prashan if you guys don't know him. Definitely check out his stuff. He is a big Marvel Snap and Marvel Rivals content creator. Did you take a picture of this? Choose Your Own Adventure Tarot Reading sounds like the Quarry game. Oh, is there that in the Quarry? I haven't played that one yet. Do you want to play it, though? Heard good things about the Quarry. Antonio, thank you so much. I gotta do some other stuff. Yeah. Yes, so soon, I know. 3.5 hours is kind of where I gotta tap out, guys. I do have to go film a collab with Prashan, and then I need to get ready because I have a photo shoot after, and then I have to come back and do some more collab stuff and some more work. Jarrell, thank you so much for the 99-cent super chat. I appreciate you. I will, Samantha, and everyone please stay tuned on the YouTube side because I'll have it up for you guys hopefully later this week. No, Otto, we will not be streaming the collab. We will be recording it, but it will be up on YouTube. Prashan and I should do a stream together, though. That would be really fun. We haven't streamed together since, like, Marvel Rivals first launched, I think. You captured it? Nice. Awesome. Well, Renelle, I hope it helps you, and I hope that, you know, if you do continue to pursue it, that any of the conflicts that you do come up against in the future are something that you can work through. I think that you come from a place where you really, like, love is at your core and in your heart. And so hopefully, you know, this other person is open to that possibility. And if not, hopefully you can still find maybe a meaningful friendship there even. I'm wishing you well. Just picked up Fantastic Four meets Gargoyles. Oh man, I need to check that one out. Captain America, your name was not called. I'm so sorry. I did not get to it today. How many tarot readings did we do today, guys? We did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tarot readings in 3.5 hours. That was as fast as I could go. I went as fast as I could. Oh, you get a reading between each level. Ooh, interesting. So you're like collecting the tarot? That's like I keep wondering in Marvel's Midnight Suns what we're going to be doing with those. Anyways, friends, I'm going to say adieu for now, but I will be back. I will be back tomorrow where we'll be talking comics. Although, I don't know, maybe we'll play some Pokemon Z to A instead. Should we do a just chatting stream or should we do some Pokemon? Maybe I'll do a poll over in the Discord. Also, stay tuned in the Discord. I'm going to be trying to find a time for us to all watch some Interview with a Vampire, the TV show, together over there because we did unlock that. And there are lots of other fun unlocked streams that we have coming our way. So please do stay tuned. We did not get to our goal today, so I will be deciding the cosplay for the next stream. Stay tuned. It will be something fun, but you'll have to wait to find out what it is tomorrow. Oh, thanks, Jarell. Yes, I will try to get to the coffee at some point soon. I don't know when. My day is so packed today. Just chatting, you think, Duncan Mallory? I'll put a poll in the Discord for you guys. And if you're not in the Discord, please check it out. I put all the polls in the poll channel. I made a poll channel for us. So just check in there for any of the polls. And maybe I'll see some of you over on the Discord. I think that's all I have. Yeah, I'm going to play the credits and then we'll head out. Have a great day, everybody. I hope everybody has a good one. Oh, also, I wanted to check and see, is Annie on right now? Because I know they were going to be doing their tattoo stream. If they could get it to work. Are Annie and Sin on at all? I don't see them. I wanted to try to raid in, but that's all right. We'll do the credits. Where are they? There they are. And I will say thank you so much to everyone that supported our stream today. I appreciate all of you. Are we rating someone? I think that's it. I think that's it. We could raise someone. Miss Mika's playing Vampire the Masquerade. That could be fun. Thank you again to everybody that supported today. Thank you so much to Jarell for the coffee donation as well, which would not be shouted out there, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much to Moondragon for gifting a membership and to Anonymous for gifting a sub. And do you guys want Mortal Kombat 1? Do you guys want some Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines? Or do you want some Warhammer 40k? Let me know. Annie, are you okay? That's a good question. Is Annie okay? I thought they were doing a tattoo stream today, but I also know when you're streaming IRL, it can be challenging. And also you got to find, I don't know if the shop will let you. So that's the other thing if they were asking. 40k, 40k. Okay, let's do some 40k. We'll go to Hayes. Hayes, man. She did her tattoo stream. It was short. Oh, okay, okay. Well, I'm glad they were able to do it. That's awesome. I wanted to raid in. I'm sad I missed it. Probably went too long for how short it was. If I had started earlier, which I was trying to do, but it takes time. All right, everyone. The raid is happening. Let's all go raid into our friend Hayes. If you have the emotes, you can use the first message that Nightpop put in chat. I'll copy it here with the emotes. If you do not have access to the emotes, if you're not subbed, there's a second message for you to use, and you can insert your own emotes. I'll see you guys over there for a quick moment. And until next time, friends, as always, stay nerdy. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Check out the Discord for polls. Okay. Love to you all. Goodbye, my goblins. Goodbye. All right.